Hello, good people of the interwebs. Sorry, make sure I'm not too dark. All right, boom. We are live. We are live today. Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little late, 4 minutes, but I had a lot of things happen in the background that I had to kind of take care of. And I want to make sure I found all the super chats. Like, I went through all of like my back end and I was like, I'm going to pull every super chat. Now, why am I doing this stream? Well, it's because you guys were so generous to literally flood me with super chats and I was reading them. But I feel that if you were kind enough to give me the super chat and ask me a question, I'm going to read. Oh, no sound. Whoops. Let me see. Let me see. No, I should have sound. Oh, my sound is good. No sound. All right. So I'm going to read those super chats. If you guys have anything else, I'm going to be primarily reading the old super chats. We have a couple, which should take maybe like an hour or something to do with all of the questions. And then if you guys have questions now, I'll try to get into them. But the questions today are going to be secondary. The questions for that are past are going to be first. So that's where we'll go. Yeah, I know sound is good. I know people like to mess with me. Kiki, what's going on? Secret Squirrel. We got everybody in the chat. All right. So let's do it. Now, for this week, we have a couple other things going on. So tomorrow or Thursday, we're going to be playing Objections. So what's that? Well, Objections is we're going to play the questions from the actual trial. And then we're going to play Objection, where we're going to hear the question. Then the lawyer from the trial is going to say objection, and we're going to stop. And then the lawyers who are going to be here on the panel are going to guess what the objection should be. And you in the chat are going to guess what the objection should be. And we're going to see who gets it right and who gets it wrong. And I'm the reason why I think this is going to be a good exercise is because it'll allow you guys to learn objections and how they work and so forth, and then allow us lawyers to to be able to interact with you to see if we get them right or if we don't get them right, and so forth and so forth, and our reasoning behind objections. So when we go into the trial week 4, you guys will be a little bit more up on objections. So that is the mentality that we're trying to do with that. So let me now pull up these super chats so we can start reading them. All right, so to show you how far. So the last one that we got was from BK, was $2. And I am going to start from there. So Control F. Let me pull up this first super chat. I got to share my screen too. All right, where are you at? So the first super chat was, do you think Amber Heard will take another full day of test? This was after Friday, and I am going to say it yes, but I got to put this on the screen. Give me a second. ES. All right, so come on. Where are you at? Where are you at? All right, here we go. So I got the super chat. Let me put it on the screen so we can get this, so you guys can see what I'm seeing, and I don't bore you guys to death. Share, screen share, Chrome tab. I had this right here. All right, so you guys get to see the back end a little bit. I just went to another thing. All right, so here are the super chats and super stickers. I told you guys I had them all. So we're gonna pull up the one. Now it's funny because now that I found the one that I wanted, and then I lost it. So now I got to find it again. Why are you doing this to me, YouTube? Control F this one more time. Here we go. All right, now this person actually changed the name. So here we go. Sorry about the tech issues. All right, so make sure you guys can see this on screen and how bad it looks. All right, so it looks all right. All right, so we're here, right? We're going through your super chats. Ooh, good morning, all. So I'm going to be looking back and forth at the chat. Again, it's just me here alone today. I don't think I'm going to have the rest of the guys come in. The super chats are up with, where it is, the name and the video. So I'm going to be reading it. There's not too many of these. So this is from Yes, You Are Correct. That made a hand gesture. Depp's lawyers made a hand gesture. We got him. when Amber lied about Depp swinging at his sister. Lie. And she said, it made me think of Kate Moss. Why was he doing that? I believe the attorney did that. Because Amber can't bring up past domestic violence things about Johnny, because if she does, then Johnny can bring up past domestic violence issues about her. So I think that's why he fist pumped, because he was like, oh, or the second issue is that Kate Moss may be called as a rebuttal witness to say that, hey, Johnny Depp didn't do this to me, and to make her look like a liar. So both things are really explosive and really damning. So I'm thinking that's why he gave the fist pump to say, yeah, we got him. She can't get away with this lie. So that's where I think that's why I think that was important. That's why I think he was saying that. Next one. It's from, oh, come on. There we go. Let me close this. So the next one is from Yes, You Are Correct. People on the fence won't be there after Cross X. So what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that people who are on the fence of this case after seeing the cross are not going to be? I think there are some Amber Heard, like I know Megyn Kelly's an Amber Heard fan, so I do not know. Super chat real quick, low on number. I'm going to shout robofication after every question. Sorry, still delirious. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Don't forget to check out Law and Lumber. Started his new channel, new video debunking the whole bed thing in the Amber Heard case too. So you guys got to definitely check that out. Law and Lumber. Thanks again for the $5 super chat. See, super chat while I'm reading super chats. So yeah, that's. I think After Cross is going to be crazy. Thanks, Nate. And all a video clip appeared in my feed, side-by-side view of Amber Heard alleging stairs incident with Ben Chu looks at Camille and gives the victory fist. Link posted in the chat. We saw that. Everybody's excited about that, but he fist bumped because I think he's either going to have the rebuttal witness or he's going to be able to bring up her past DV arrest. Nate, this is from TV Defunk. Nate, can you collect a 50 on those weak tiers? Yes, I'm going to collect my 50 on those weak tiers. I am sorry. That 50 is going to be collected on those weak tiers. For those of you who don't know, we had a bet that Amber Heard would cry during her testimony. And she did, right? She cried. So the deal was we couldn't get fake cries. She had to give like a real, but we needed to see one wet tear come down the cheek. One tear was all we needed. And that was the $50 bet. We got the one tear. Now, she still got a couple more days. She didn't go full Rittenhouse, but she gave us the one tear. So now what I'm going to do is that $50, I'm going to donate that $50 to the Children's Hospital, right? Because she didn't donate the $3.5 million. So the $50 is not going into my pocket. It's going to the Children's Hospital. So at least they got something from that, right? Nate, were you on the Megyn show? No, I wasn't on Megyn Kelly. See, I'm still looking at the chat, so you guys know I'm looking at the chat still. No, I wasn't on Megyn Kelly. So what happened is that, remember I was on Viva's, I think it was Thursday. So I was on Viva's Thursday that morning. Then I got the email while on Viva's show that for a last minute cancellation on Megyn to come and be a guest on the show and was talking about some of the law stuff that was happening. So I was like, cool, I'm going on. So that was the email. I checked out who was sending me the email, because a lot of times, and you guys don't know this, when you guys get up in YouTube, you get a lot of emails that come in from people, hey, come to my show, and you come in, it's like a scam or whatever. So, I always check background. So I did the background on the person, LinkedIn and all that, and found, oh, this was the person from Megyn Kelly. So then I responded back on stream like, hey, I'm definitely going to do it. Let me know. So we had planned it for 1:00 the next day. So I had the live stream in the morning, and during the next day, I sent out a confirmation email, just make sure everything was good. And then I didn't hear back until I think 12:50, like 10 minutes before show. The producer said, oh, Nate, I forgot about you, or something to that effect. Like they forgot about me and they had booked someone else. So they had double booked me. So I was like, and it was like, almost 1:00. So I know they had somebody else coming on. I'm there, so I was at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't mind. I'm not like I was doing anything anyway at that time. I didn't appreciate the fact of the double booking, but these things happen. It's show business. So, and that was it. So they told me they'll invite me on another show, and that's it. So there was no hard feelings. Some people, there's a rumor going on because I believe Amber Heard is full of crap, that because I believe Amber Heard is full of crap, that's the reason why they did not, they didn't go on the show, but that's just not the truth. It was really just this whole they had misbooked me because I think there was a couple of guests that they needed to shuffle around. They forgot about me. Maybe that was too simple, and people want to know, like, Nate. Britt, come here. See, I'm keeping up with the super chats now. If you donate to the Children's Hospital, you will have donated an infinite amount more than Amber Heard gave from the divorces. That's so true. And Britt, I did see your email, which was extremely wonderful, extremely moving. That email, and I was going to respond to. I see everybody responded to it, but I want to respond to you right now. You're an amazing person, and the email that you sent I read it. I was, it was amazing. So thanks again for that email. It was really good. And for a lot of you who send me messages, I read a lot of your messages and DMs and everything. I don't respond because when you respond, it gets crazy, because as soon as you say thank you to somebody for this, then I get like another 200 or 300 messages from them. And I just can't be dealing with that. So I read everything. If you want to send me something to read, you may not get a response, but I will read it. I try to read every comment. I read every DM, and it's to my detriment sometimes, but I do read everything. So, or at least I try to. I don't want to be, say I do it all, but I try to. So a lot of people, and one thing too, please, people, stop trying to ask me for legal advice, right? If you come and you send me a DM saying, this is my case. I had one person lay out their whole case to me, and I was like, yo, I can't give you any legal advice. This is not, I don't even live in your same country. So please, people, understand, I am a YouTube TV lawyer. Yes, I have cases. My last case is ending today. But please understand, I am not your lawyer. And none of this stuff is legal advice. All this stuff is just you're learning from my experiences and how I feel about these cases. And that's really what you're getting here. So please, if you do need help, I can help you find a lawyer in your area. But I am not your lawyer. And this don't come to this stream looking for legal advice. If you're coming to the stream looking for legal advice to help you in your case, you're already messed up. You're already behind the curve. You need to go someplace and speak to somebody in your area who knows the laws where you're at. I don't. Even if you live in New York, I probably don't. There are so many laws here dealing with so many different issues. So that's my little rant about laws today. Nate, Nate, I thought that, oh, hold on. Nate, I thought that had to be real tears. You thought they had to be real tears. Yes. That one tear was not real. Whatever, Cheryl. Let's get out of here with that no real tear. What's wrong with you? That was a real tear. It was a real mental tear. Cheryl, boo you and your hatred. Brett, stop running my public image. Now I might have to sue you for that. Brett, forget you, Brett. You guys are being cheeky today. I got old super chats to read. I'm not going to be reading all this new stuff, so you guys just be hating on me now. Nate, what I find interesting is that Amber Heard, it's abuse for Depp to hit her, but it's not abuse. That's exactly what I was saying. This is a perfect. Now, sometimes you guys may notice I got new glasses because of all right. So a lot of you guys don't notice my eye issue, but yeah, I'm blind in this eye. It's supposed to come out, but I haven't scheduled it. Then it was going to come out. And the doctor was like, hey, the eye's still alive. So yeah, I am blind in one eye. Everybody asks. You'll see people, some people know, but I know we have a lot of new people. So yes, this eye is totally blind. And these are new glasses. I didn't have these. These are new glasses. So my old glasses, I could read the screen from here. These new glasses, it's like an adjustment. So if I'm misreading your super chats, it's really because of these new glasses. I'm just getting used to them. I was doing it the other night. Joe was helping me out, but yeah, it's been a little tough. So I'm sorry if I chopped it up. But yes, the stupid doctor, which I'm saying is a stupid doctor. Amber Heard doctor is an idiot, because that's what she kept saying. When Johnny hits her, it's retro, it's what you call reactionary. But when Johnny hits her, it's abuse. That was total bullshit. Total bullshit. It was total bullshit. And I think everybody could have seen it. Thanks for the super chat. I think everybody saw that shit. Everybody saw that shit. Drill Monkey, happy Monday. And have a great weekend. You're an awesome person. Thank you, Trio Monkey. You guys have got me distracted. I'm reading the old super chats. You guys got me new super chats. All right, last super chat from this stream I'm going to read right now. I'll come back and read your super chats if you got any pressing questions. Why am I having withdrawal already? So happy you have a live today. Thank you. How else am I supposed to work? Happy Monday. That's so true. Oh my God. Oh my God! So here we go. Let's get back to the super chats. I'll invite people in. Some people are asking about other lawyers. I'm gonna invite them in, but I really want this is for the people who've given me money, and I said I'm going to read your super chat. We're going to read them. So and again, if everybody has different questions, so I think it's interesting with different questions. But I'm going to read your super chat. Here's another one. Who got me, Nate. I need some legal advice. Really? You see? You got me. I was sleepwalking, pooped in my partner's side. So my side of the bed, and I'm abusive. Who is Amber Heard? Oh, that's what we should do. Who is Amber Heard? I'm cold. Yeah, no, I'm cold. That was cold. All right, next super chat. Yesterday, here's Wendy Cafe. Wendy, thank you for the $20 in Canadian. Yesterday, she testified that he dragged her across all the broken glass in bare feet. Fact, I remember that. So for those of you who don't know, this is the Australia incident. Now she testified she was dragged all across the street, all across the floor, broken glass, and seemingly had no injuries, which was crazy. Yeah, I remember that. Because people right after people came in, and I didn't see that. But again, that was about the Australian incident. Let me finish reading the super chat. Where was the blood from that? Agreed. But there was a lot of blood, but it was from Johnny's finger, I believe. The only thing we saw was blood drops that came from Johnny's finger. Correct. And it was splatter, not drag marks. And also, too, she wasn't injured, because remember the audio we know right after that? She was looking for the finger with the doctor. So if she was cut up and injured, they would have been like, hey, she needs medical attention too. So that whole story was just full of lies. I don't believe Amber. Listen, people, I try to be as impartial. You guys know I strain to be as impartial as possible. But this Amber Heard chick is straight up lying. Let's just call it what it is. She's straight up lying. She is straight up lying. Ugh. Oh, you guys are still hitting me hard with super chats. All right, I'm back and forth. I see them. I'm going to star them so I can save them now. All right, so I'm starring super chats to save them, so I'm going to be reading them later. All right. So also for this stream, $5 super chats and below, I'm going to try to get to from if you give them now. So I'll try to get to them. Anything over $10, I'm definitely going to read. So $10 text, and I hate doing it that way, but right now this is really about these people who I've told I'm going to read your super chat. I want if it's $2, $1.50, if it's on this, I'm reading it today just so we can get through them. And I'll try to see, and if some good ones I'll read. If you want me to answer a question, $5 question, whatever, just put Q in front of it, or put a Q so I can know it's a question. And those I'll definitely pick up and try to answer them, because I like to answer the questions. Let me keep moving forward. This next one's from Robert Barton. It says, when preparing for questions on direct and cross, does counsel not anticipate objections? Yes. And prepare responses in advance? Yes, I do. I can't take it because there are some questions where I know may be challenged. So I'll say like if I have a question, then next to it, I'll put, hearsay objection or foundation objection or whatever I think it will be. Most objections are a little surprising, but some within your testimony, may come up, and then you should have a canned response. What we used to do, we used to run our testimony, we'd run our script with another attorney. I used to do that at the day's office. I did a couple of times where I'd run a script with another attorney, and they would give me objections, and then I would write down the objections and my response to them, and then that's kind of the way we played it out. Elaine seems to be caught off guard in every objection. I think so, because I think, don't forget, she's local counsel, so I think locally she may be aware. Like down there, it may not be as hot and heavy with objections as because you got foreign counsel from Massachusetts. So, a lot of the stuff that may generally slide in most cases, I think in this case they're being hypersensitive, so it's not sliding. So that maybe was throwing her off. And she does seem a little flustered because it's not as hyper tech. Law is just like everything else. When you do it every day, when you're in a courtroom every day, the rule, there are rules, but it's not as rigid as when you got a high profile case. Then those rules are you got to follow them. So I think she's getting caught up in a little bit of that. But again, that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure. Maybe she just is getting really caught off by objections. But I'm assuming if she's at this level, at this trial, making this money, that's not a good excuse. She should know, and she should prepare for objections because they're easy, right? They're easy to prepare for. I can tell you, that's how you're able to hear it in a second and know there's an objection to it. Kath says, your interpretation of Amber Heard snorting something on the stand. Many clips on Twitter. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about the snorting on the stand? Do you guys think that was something? I thought she was just wiping her nose, and sometimes, you wipe your nose and you sniff up. Some people think it's mental, so she can cry. Some people think I don't know. That's just a little maybe it could be something, but I don't think it was cocaine. People just she's snorting cocaine up there. I'm not going that far. I just don't know. Salty Scott says, thanks, Nate. Definitely a toxic relationship, but both of them, yes. Running to the press, never a good idea. They both need help. Amen to that. Amen to that. Wendy says, the breakfast table photo looked like it was staged. Yes, it did. Yes, Wendy, yes, it did. 110%. And 920 Farmhouse says, I heard on another channel this morning that Amber Heard's sister isn't testifying. In fact, she didn't complete a deposition, so she's not testifying in this case. And that's the reason why, from my understanding, because she didn't complete a deposition. See, I should have read the rest of your stuff. Do you know anything about this? That one person that could back up her claims isn't testifying. Well, let's not forget too. Amber keeps talking. Who does Amber? All right, everybody. Who do I keep saying Amber keeps missing? She keeps mentioning Jerry, right? Or the one security guy who's dead, right? And now she's mentioning her sister, the one person who's that. So that's why it's hard for me to believe her story. If you keep mentioning the one person that's not alive that can verify it, you got hundreds of people around that can verify it. Is the one person we can't, the person that's dead, right? Nobody else can verify this. So it's she's don't get me started on Amber this early in the morning. It's crazy. All right, let me get back to some of the super chats that I saved in the chat. So now if you guys want to throw some super chats out there, let me read them so I don't get backed up. Here we go. Elaine mentioned SA with bottle in her opening. Oh, she mentioned that, huh? Amber Heard said she thought it was a fist until she saw the bottle photo during the trial a few days ago. Does this hurt her case more? Ooh. Elaine mentioned SA with the bottle opening. I think it does. Because, well, she did testify to that. And my issue with that is that opening is me. Let me get hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me get another light. All right, so we got a little bit more light so it's not as dark. You see, I'm in shadow mode now. I think it does, but think about this. Openings are like promises. I'm promising to show you this. In Rittenhouse, we saw the same thing. One side is promising to show the other, show this to the jury, and they showed it with Amber. Amber testified to that. So I think it would hurt the case if they can prove it didn't happen. But we'll see. It's. She did testify to it. I don't believe it, but I don't know if the jury's going to believe it. But if they can prove it didn't happen, then yeah, it's definitely going to hurt. Definitely going to hurt. This is Rumble of July. Juju 33. Sorry, this is Rubia Juju 33. I'm an attorney and missed the motion to strike. Yes, having a nerd meltdown. Did any of Heard's cross claims get struck? Did any of Heard's cross claims get struck? No, none of her cross claims got struck. One of the claims is in abeyance, but that's his claim. So that's from what we saw. The only claim that was kind of in abeyance, the one claim that was in abeyance was the original claim that she was a survivor of sexual assault. The reason why that was held was because she hadn't testified yet. And to do the motion to strike, you needed to have all the evidence and saying, this is all the evidence. Even if it's true, we win, but all the evidence wasn't there. So the judge said, well, I can't really judge that one because all the evidence isn't in. You need Amber to testify. So she was going to wait until after Amber testifies to make, to determine whether if the first if the heading on the article would be thrown out. I don't think that the heading on the article is going to be thrown out because she republished it. So if that's the case, I believe Johnny was going to lose this case on the law, right? I mean, I was saying Johnny had maybe a 30% chance to win. If that heading is bought in, that changes my 30% while Johnny's going to win to 70%. And that's because in there, she's alleging he sexually assaulted her. Oof, I shouldn't have said that because it's going to demonetize the stream. But anyway, she sexually assaulted him. So what that means, if that's true, right? If she said that and he's able to prove that's false, that's an easier hill to climb. I think it's easier to prove I never sexually assaulted her than I never abused her. Because then we're talking about mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. We're talking about everything's abuse, right? But sexual assault is something very specific. And I think it's easy to prove that did not happen based on what we've seen. And I think they've done a good job because I don't think there's any rational person believes that Johnny Depp sexually assaulted her. Abuse, we can have our arguments. But let me know in the chat. Do you think is there anybody here? What am I talking about? 1, 2. I can put a poll in the chat. That's what I'm going to do. Let me put a poll in the chat to ask you guys. Because I think if you're talking about sexual assault, I think Amber Heard loses that. I think she can win the abuse one. I think she can win if it's just about abuse. It's about sexual assault. She's a loser. She's going to lose that one. Hold on. Let me put this poll in the chat so you guys, because I want to ask you guys. Do you guys think she loses on the sexual assault one? Let me throw this up here. Here we go. All right. Poll in the chat. I'm going to write, did JD SA I couldn't put sexual assault because that was not allowed. So the question is going to be, did JD SA Amber Heard? So that is the poll in the chat right now. So answer that. I honestly think I don't think that happened. I just don't think that happened. I think I'm saying I don't think that happened because of the evidence. I'm not saying I don't think. I don't think the evidence is there. The evidence just doesn't seem like it's there for that. Amber Heard mentioned Kate Moss in the opening door to prior attacks. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And that's true. Then it's back. All right. So I'm going back to. There's no more super chats. Good. So I'm going back to the old super chats to answer our question. So here we go. Next super chat. She claimed a friend on the plane asked her how she was. Yeah, but we haven't heard from that friend. It's not about, and that's the thing with Amber's case, right? Thanks for the €2. I'm streaming addict, and that's the problem. See, I feel like I could believe Amber's story, but she has to have some corroboration. Right now, I feel like I have all the corroboration from Johnny's side, and her corroboration is tedious at best. Like for her, I gotta believe that the doctor's exam that showed no injuries was wrong, but then some note from somebody who saw in the dark is correct. That just doesn't work for me. Well, Amber Heard. Oh, sorry. Next one. Wendy Cafe for $10 Canadian. Did you hear Amber Heard talk about how he smashed the phone into the wall so many times it disintegrated? Yes. The phone they showed has the photo they showed has the phone sitting on the bar in one piece. That photo was staged. I believe. Listen, Amber's story. It seems like she's just honestly making up out of whole cloth. I don't know what this woman is doing. I don't know why she's doing this. Maybe she just feels like this, but it just really seems so bad, so made up. It just, I don't know, people. I don't know. It's crazy. Will Amber's doctor see repercussions for her profession from her? Will Amber's doctor see repercussions in her profession from her biases? $5 Great Britain from Chris. I believe she should, because it's difficult to say because she's a professional witness. So you can see two things happen, right? More victims more women knows that, hey, she'll say whatever I need her to say, right? For a fee. What is a fee? $500? Yeah, bring her in, right? Even if she's the abuser, she's going to say, so that may get her some of that money on this. But will other people believe this professional if you feel that she's biased? So it could have hurt her, but I think it could bring her more people who say, hey, this is somebody who, who's going to give us a professional opinion that we know we can pay for. So, and the same with Curry too, because there's no way you can tell me this is science. And then both sides, both two professionals, top of their field, highly qualified, seeing the same set of facts. It's like a test, right? One says it's A, the other one says it's B. Who's correct? Or is the science just junk science? Because that's what's making me think. It may be just junk science, or one of them is lying. Question: do you know if there is anyone on Amber's witness list that saw any of this? No. Nate, you're amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jennifer. Thanks. No, I didn't see anybody who can corroborate. That's the problem. People are going to say I'm a misogynist. Nate, you don't believe the woman. Nate, this. No, listen, I don't believe either one of them. I believe facts and evidence. Give me facts and evidence. Tell me a story, but show me the facts. Johnny's told me a story, which I've been telling you guys. I don't believe his story whole cloth, but I believe the facts and evidence he gave. And those facts and evidence and other people in the comps, I believe that. And it makes me say, I believe what he's saying because he's backed it up. Amber, she's been telling me a lot, but not showing me nothing. It's funny because when it's time to get paid to us, we always say, you're telling me a lot, but you're not showing me nothing. I got no money in my hand, right? You tell me why I can't get paid, but I need you to show me the cash. Otto says, even with discretion, the private doctor and nurses have detailed treatment notes to protect themselves every day that they did not describe any physical abuse treatments. Facts. Johnny's rings would do so much damage to her face. 100% Otto. And this is Otto saying what I've been saying, right? I've been saying that all this time. Otto's saying the same thing I'm saying. Otto is saying it. Is there anybody who disagrees with what Otto says? Otto's speaking truth. Let me see how our poll did. Wow. You guys don't trust her at all. 97% says no. But you got 3% to say it's dead. All right. 3%. Quick question. Will the makeup palette make a return? Well, I don't know. Maybe it should. Secret Squirrel. I drag not the bully, damn. Secret Squirrel is my mod of the decade. And last super chat before we go back to our old super chats. This is from Angela. Let's chat. If JD smashed that Bakelite phone. So if JD smashed that Bakelite phone next to Amber's Heard, wouldn't she suffer from hearing loss? Great show, Nate. Thanks for this coverage. I don't know. Well, you would see a broken phone, right? Remember, see the other super chat where people were like, yo, what happened to the phone? The phone doesn't seem broken. It's sitting right there. The phone that she said broke into disintegration. And listen, I can't argue with any of this stuff because her story just seems so fantastic. It just does. I don't know, guys. You're probably right, but who knows? Who knows with this woman? Who knows what she's going to say? She's had earplugs in. I don't know what her excuse is going to be. She's going to have some excuse, people. I don't know what it is. I can't wait. Cross-examination is going to be amazing. This is Lindsay. Let me make sure you guys can see Lindsay's thing. Yeah, this is Lindsay. I got to highlight these so you guys can see them. Lindsay. Thank you, Lindsay, for your $10. And thank you, Otto, for your 20. Just joining. Sorry if you've already covered this. Will the team address the refusal to turn over her phone and metadata? Yes, they're going to be asking for sanctions for that. Generally, you can get a negative inference. In other words, if you get a negative inference, it'll say whatever was bad. Think about whatever is bad that would hurt that side. That's what was on the phone. So that's essentially what the negative inference is. You can take it as meaning Johnny Depp's team saying that. Let's say if Johnny Depp's team is saying that photo wasn't taken during that time frame. It was taken at some other time, and we know, and that's what the metadata would have shown. That would be the negative inference, right? That the metadata is not going to match the photo. It's a real tough thing because a negative inference can kill your case. And I think if you can show that the phone and all those pictures, if you get the negative inference, then you could really throw some shade on them, right? Like, hey, we don't even know when these pictures were taken, and that would be the negative inference. So it'll be tough. But that's what I'm assuming will happen, because I remember that Alita said there was a motion for sanctions before. There was a motion for sanctions because they didn't get the discovery on the metadata. So we'll see. What was Amber? This is from Jennifer Carr. Was Amber trying to force evidence in through awkward testimony? She was. It kind of sounded like that to me. Her mention of Kate Moss, yes, she's trying to throw in extra stuff. Her attention, her mention of her therapist notes, yes. But you can mention notes, you can't mention what's on the notes. Like you can say, I can say my therapist took notes. If I start saying my therapist wrote down in her notes that, objection, hearsay, right? Because the content of the notes is hearsay. The fact that she took notes is not. Ooh, I'm giving you guys some serious legal education right here. That was a boomer. Boom. All right. Let's go through the next. Here's Brett coming back for a super chat. She testified that the phone on the counter was not the phone she broke. Say, thank you, Brett. She claimed he broke one mounted on the wall, not the bar counter. So her story was different. All right. Thank you, Britt. Thanks for clearing that up. Britt's been watching the trial with us all day. So if that wasn't the phone, then that wasn't the phone. Thank you, Britt. Appreciate it. You see? This is why we do this. Thank you. Nick for $5. Off topic, but a friend asked me this, so I figured I'd toss it to you all. With the Roe v. Wade situation, would this affect Planned Parenthood funding? Well, Planned Parenthood funding is for women's health. So, and then it would depend on the state they're in, right? So if you're in Texas where they stop abortion, I think you'll still have Planned Parenthood, but they won't be doing abortions anymore. They can just do women's health things. So it's going to be jurisdictional. So I'm just not sure. I don't think this is going to. The majority of Planned Parenthood's business model isn't abortion. It's really a small percentage, but losing it will probably hurt financially. But I don't think it's going to hurt them in the long run, because they do so many other things. It's just like, yeah, we lose that part of our practice in some places too. In New York, they're still going to be doing abortions. Thanks for the $5, Nick. This is Ark Megan Raven for 100 something. I'm not sure, but thank you for it. It says, even though I fully support JD, I think that statistically, at least one person on the jury will fall for Amber Heard's lies. So JD will lack the unanimity he needs in order to win. Yeah, it's got to be unanimous verdict. Same for Amber Heard. Do you think both will end up losing? That's a hell of a question that I am not going to just pose to you. I'm going to take this question. Oops, copy this question. I'm copying this question, and I'm going to throw it to the chat. Chat, you got to tell me. This is the poll of polls right now. Paste. Do you think both will end up losing? Here we go. This is a good one. So your question got to the chat. I think my best bet, if I'm a betting man, I'm going to Vegas and I'm betting on the case, right? If I'm going to Vegas, betting on the case, I would bet most of my money that they both lose. That would be the money bet, right? So I'm putting a G on them both losing. And why am I saying, why would I believe they're both going to lose? Because I think if it's just about abuse, I think they both lose. But I also think on the back end, I think if anybody's going to win, I think Johnny can win. If that title about sexual assault comes in, Johnny wins. I think Johnny wins. But I think right now it's tight. I think he did it. I don't think there's no scenario where I see Amber winning, but I do see a lot of I do see a lot of scenarios where I do see Johnny winning and Amber losing, or they both lose. So I think both loss is probably the best bet. Johnny winning on the sexual assault is a good bet. The other ones, I would say you're 50-50. You're taking your chances, But I would be betting always against Amber. I don't think she's gonna win. I just think there's just too much out there. I'm spreading love with my Kentucky Derby winnings. I missed the Kentucky Derby. I usually bet too. Thank you so much. I'm gonna run through a couple of these. I posted this on the other channel, so I want you to know. Photo 522 in evidence. She said her injuries from May 2016, yet in her photo behind the fridge. Yes. You know what? All right. I'm going to take a break from the super chats to show you this photo. Let me show you this photo because everybody's been talking about this photo. Let me talk about this photo. Here we go. Here is the photo because everybody's been talking about it. And I said, I'm going to share it when I got a second. So let me show you this photo. And let's just look at this photo really quickly so we understand what's going on. All right, so let me pull up this photo because we've been talking about it in LawTube like maniacs, and and I want to actually get you guys' opinion on it. So I got to pull up the photo outside of the LawTube chat because we got a chat in LawTube, but I don't want you guys to see all the juiciness that goes on behind the scenes. All right, so here we go. So I got that up. Now I'm going to let me save these supers from this stream, because we're going back and forth. Then thank you guys for being so generous with the super chats. I'll definitely try to get to them. I'm definitely going to get to the ones, these last ones that I just starred. So we'll get to those. So let me, I'm going to stop screen sharing this for a second. Remove this real quick. And share. All right, here we go. So I'm going to share this photo. And you guys tell me what you think. So I'll tell you what both sides are thinking. So we're going to talk about what both sides are thinking. All right, here we go. This is the LawTube Twitter. Boom. All right. So this is the picture of Amber Heard right here. And in the back, where you see this little blue circle, it says January 2015. It's hard to say. So this is supposedly the picture of her beat up, right? The nose or whatever, and the 2015. So now we see the photo. Let me put the photo up big so you guys can see it. I'll make sure you guys can see it. So this is the photo. Now, this is the photo from Exhibit, and this photo is supposed to be from 2016, but the calendar. So now I got to ask you people, right? I got to ask you people. This is what's going. This is what's real right now. This is what's going on right now. Let me take this down real quick. So now, what are people saying about this photo? It's on this side. This photo. They're saying that because that calendar on the back, they're using that calendar as a timestamp. Somebody has a calendar of 2015. You said you took this picture a year later, right? That's definitive proof this picture is fake. Possible. But also, people are saying they're not convinced because people leave stuff up all the time, right? Somebody could have posted that up there a year ago and it could be 2020. Who knows, right? That people don't, just because that's up there doesn't mean that was a accurate calendar of that month. That could have been something, that they put for something else, right? They didn't change the calendar. So is it convincing, or that they didn't change the calendar? That could be anything. Or is it she took this picture in 2015 and saying now, I know most people are probably screaming now, what about the metadata, right? And this is why they wanted the metadata, because they had this. They said, well, we want the metadata from the pictures because we have this inconsistency. You got a calendar of 2015. You said you took it in 2016. The metadata would tell us when the picture was taken. Metadata's not there. That's where we're at. So I would say this. If I'm Johnny's team, we are talking about this. And then we're talking about you not having metadata. And then you as a jury has got to make you as a jury is going to have to make the conclusion whether this is real. You got this picture, you see this calendar behind it, and the metadata that would prove that it was taken when it was taken, they haven't turned it over. So we got negative inference. Negative inference, there's no metadata. That would lead me, if I'm a juror, to believe this picture isn't accurate. But I'll leave it to you. So now you have exactly what's going on with the picture and the issues with that picture. So here it is again for all to see. So if you're on a jury, I think the jury is going to be less likely to believe that picture. I just think they do. And I would understand why I would be less likely to believe that picture, especially if you just show me the metadata and the fact that it has to without that calendar. I think the metadata becomes less important. But because that calendar is there, then that metadata becomes important because that is a question into the authenticity of said picture, right? I wouldn't believe it. I need the metadata. let's do some of the newer super chats, and we're going back to the older super chats because that is what this stream is about. Hi Nate, I accidentally voted yes on the poll because I read it wrong. 98% don't think he essayed her. LOL. But it's actually like 99% now, I think, because you changed. If he did, he would have needed extensive medical attention, way more than a bruised arm. I'm not getting that. If he did it, he would have needed. Oh, she would have needed much more medical attention. Yes. Yeah, I would suppose so. Her story just doesn't make any sense. It's dragged around the bottle incident, and then right after that, you help him look for his finger. It just doesn't make any sense. I posted this on the other channels. This was the photo. Yes. And we just talked about that. That was just what we talked about. Thank you, Gaylord Falker. I like it. I know what movie that's from. This one, I want to know how these recordings after the fact, but nothing during. That's true. She does have recordings after the fact, but nothing during. Where are all these photos, videos, and medically treatable injuries? No one knows. That's the problem, Wendy. No one knows. Wendy's back too. Wendy, we're reading all your old super chats. No one knows. That's the problem. The reason why I don't believe her is because she has nothing. There's nothing that corroborates her story except pictures from that says she's saying it's 2016, where there's a calendar behind you that says 2015. It's like, show me the metadata, and there's no metadata. And everybody who says that they can verify her story is either dead or not testifying. It's like, I understand, Wendy. I understand. Oof. Tracy says, I'm curious if the jury thinks there was verbal abuse mutually or by Johnny. Does that mean he will lose the case? If they consider what she was talking about in that op-ed abuse, right? And they consider verbal abuse to be abuse, that type of abuse, Johnny Depp loses. And that's the problem I think a lot of people don't understand about this case. And I keep saying it. And I think you people need to understand this. If Amber Heard can convince this jury that Johnny Depp abused her once in the 5 or 6 years during their relationship, she wins, right? But also, if Johnny Depp cannot convince them that he never did it in that fight, and that's a hell of a thing to prove, right? It's a hell of a thing to prove that you didn't do something for 5 years. Like, I never did this. All those times we were alone, all those times I didn't do this. That is what he has to prove. And the way he's doing it is showing that she just is a pathological liar. So he's just saying, I'm going to show she's a pathological liar. Hopefully they don't believe her. But that's the mountain he has to overcome. She's got to show. Now, I think she's taken a horrible piece to it by saying, well, he's done all this monstrous stuff because she can't verify it. If you can't verify this monstrous stuff, then it doesn't make sense to me. So right now, all the evidence that we've seen are totally Johnny. So people need to really understand, she has an easier path to victory, but I think Johnny has the facts and the law to victory. Now, one caveat to all this: if that title of that of the article that she's a survivor of sexual assault, violence, or whatever, the sexual assault piece, that's a different ballgame. That gives you it's a little different in that case. You know what I mean? Because now you're trying to prove sexual assault, which is different, defined. We don't have to leave it up to the jury. This is sexual assault. This never happened, right? And that's why she's trying to show the bottle stuff, because she knows the bottle stuff gives her the essay necessary to say that this, and usually one juror to believe he did that, right? That's essay. That's why you heard the bottle story. The bottle story was trying to convince you that he did essay her and that part was true. So now she gets 2 bites. I didn't say it. And number 2, it's true because it did happen. That's her plan. So I'm going to be doing a video on her, but that's her plan. It's not working. It's just not working. Thank you. Oh, let me read the rest of this. Thank you for the super chat. I don't see how a jury could see her as not guilty. I'm not liable, but not guilty. I get it. Which is completely different from what 95% of the world thinks. You know what? With that super chat, I'm going to tell you one case, Rittenhouse. 95% of the world thinks Rittenhouse is a white racist supremacist that shot 3 black men, right, in cold blood and got away with it, got away with murder. If you watch that case, the victims weren't white. He was being attacked. The whole case was different than what was presented. And no matter how you feel about the Rittenhouse case, but most people who watch the case, 95% of the people think that case is totally different than what it is. It's just the nature of the beast. Let me take care of this one. Confused age phone was recording, so how can her phone have been smashed? Again, these are problems with her testimony. It's just all over the place. You're right. Amen to that. Thanks for the $10 super chat, Peggy. She's again. I think she's lying. Matt says JD can lose the case and win in court of public opinion, which I think he's already done. JD's already won the court of public opinion, the case that we're talking about now. That's still an overall win if he gets his career back. Think that's his main goal. Yeah, I think that's the reason why he sued. I think that's his main goal. And this is the last one I'm gonna do before we go back to the previous super chats. I think Amber Heard didn't give metadata. She did not. I've never believed her. Yes. Oh, you're saying even if Amber Heard didn't give the metadata, I never believed her. If she gives the metadata, I'm never adverse to evidence. Give me the evidence. Give me the evidence, and I will look at it and do what's right with it, right? But give me the evidence. If you don't give me the evidence, then I just don't know. So give me the evidence. And I don't think she's done that. I don't think she's given me any evidence. Because the problem is I understand people wanting to believe Johnny, but I do want to say this. We shouldn't be wanting to believe anybody. We should be wanting to believe the facts and the evidence that's presented. So it shouldn't be, I'm going to believe this person, I'm going to believe that person. It should be, I'm going to believe the facts and evidence, wherever they lead. And I think that's the problem, right? I want to believe the facts. And who has the facts and who has the facts to make their argument? Who has the facts to tell me this happened and I can believe you, right? Who has those facts? If you have those facts, then if you think Johnny Depp is going to get up there and say, yeah, I hit her, yeah, I did all that, you are sorely mistaken. If you think Amber Heard is going to sit there and say, yeah, I lied, you are sorely mistaken. It's us sifting through them and trying to determine their credibility. Now, for those of you who are going to say Nate's a misogynist, Nate's this, Nate hates women because Nate doesn't believe her. Listen, I'm just going to say it straight out loud. I don't believe her. I believe testimony of independent witness. I believe the police come to your house and say you weren't injured. If two sets of police, the doorman, everybody says you're not injured, and you tell me you're injured, I don't believe you. Am I being crazy? Is that some wild notion? So yeah, so for the people out there who are saying Nate is, anti-women, Nate is anti-me too. Listen, I don't care what you think. I don't believe people. I believe facts and evidence, and then I believe their story if it matches the facts and evidence, if it's reasonable. Her story is not reasonable. That's the only issue. Her story is just not reasonable. That's my rant about this real quick. Let me go back to the super chats because that's what this is about. Sorry about taking time away from that, but yeah, it's not gonna that's not gonna happen. Again, I'm open. I want to be sure. I'm open to suggestions. I'm open to believing her, but I don't. If you believe her, that's one thing. Let's go back to check the poll in the chat, see how you guys are doing. And poll. All right, this poll turned out a little differently, boy. Almost a 50-50 poll. Woo. You guys were this one was an interesting poll. Almost 50-50. Here it is. It's so do you think both will end up losing? Almost 60% of you said yes. So see, most of you think both will lose or Johnny will win. Most of you think that. Wow. Interesting poll. Let's get back to the super chats. All right. Where is it at? Let me make sure this is still up. Yep. Going back. Tech support channel. There we go. All right. So we're moving on. Which was the last one? Said I really want Amber Heard. She's not giving. All right. So we were down here. Oops. No, it went to the top again. Oh my God. This is one thing I hate about this super chat thing is that when I switch screens from sharing screens, it goes to another screen. So you see all these super chats I still got to get through, but this is from yesterday's screen. Most of these have been read. Brett, where are we at? We're here. All right. Ricada, the best law tube is the best best lawyer is a YouTube lawyer. Funny Nick. This one is from thanks for the $50. Nick hooked me up. This is Dovetail INR 400. I was looking at the remove Amber Heard from Aquaman petition. The petition has 37 million signatures. Wow. I need to sign that thing too. Even if Amber Heard wins the case, can she be sued again? Probably not by Johnny, because it's either going to be too old, and if she loses this, it's done. What happens to a person like Amber Heard? Will she have a career to go on? That is the key question. And most people, I think, don't understand is that Amber Heard, think about this. Amber Heard is fighting for her career and her life. Like, this is not a game. Like, people think, oh, she's like, no, she's lying like this because she knows that if people believe that she's lying, that she's lied about this, and she loses everything. She loses, think about being on top of the world, an A-list actress, Aquaman, all that stuff. And that can be lost. Like, she can lose that. And that's it's I say this, before you judge, think about what she's trying to save. Millionaire career. It's back to the Piggly Wiggly for her, right? If she loses, it's back to wherever, right? And she's going back to the supermarket, right? This is not this is not easy for her. But with that said, I think her I think it's 3.8 now. Sorry, I thought it was 38, but 3.8 million. So it's 3.8 million signatures. So that's why she's lying. She's got millions of reasons to make up these stories, if they're made up. I don't know if they're made up, but she's got millions of reasons. So it's sick, but that's just the reality of it. I think we'd be daft to not think that she's got a heavy financial motive for making these stories up. Let me see. I really want to believe Amber Heard, but she is not convincing. I really can't imagine what kind of person would lie about something like this. This is gross and embarrassing. Yeah, this is true. But this happened again. Come on. Why does this thing keep doing this? But good thing I highlight them now, so I don't, just in case I lose my place. I got it. Come on. I highlighted you, so I know where you're at. Ooh, sorry guys, I lost my place, but I will find it because it was Nick's last super chat. So I'll just look for Nick. Nick. I should control F. Yep, I'm gonna have to control F this. Control F. REK. Here we go. All right, so we're back in business. Here we go. So it's 3.7 million, 3.8 million about the career. So that's the one we just answered. Sorry about that. We lost place. For some reason, as soon as you change screens here, it loses its place. So it's frustrating, but we're still in it. Next one, Britt Cormier for $10 US. She could not back down from the article. She would have lost all the attention that she craves so much. No way she can go through life without people showering her with attention and affection. Yeah, Britt, you're right. And that's why I think these lies are coming up. Alan V for $5 says, if a party testifies to criminal behavior in a civil case, can that be evidence by a DA to charge criminally later? Yes, it's possible. That's why, like, for instance, with OJ, one of the issues with the OJ Simpson trial, let me make sure you guys see this. Okay, so that was one of the issues with the OJ Simpson trial. So this, I'm giving you a little behind the scenes law stuff here. So when the OJ Simpson trial, remember, he had the criminal case that he was found not guilty, and the civil case where he was found liable. Now, what happens is that the reason why they waited for the civil case till after the criminal case is because during the civil case, he could have got up there and took the Fifth Amendment. He could have got up there and said, I'm taking the Fifth because they're going to ask me, did I commit a murder or whatever? So while he was liable for criminal sanctions, he could get up in the civil case and say, I'm not going to testify, and there's nothing they could do because he had a Fifth Amendment privilege. So that's why you had to have the criminal case happen before, so he can testify and get all that stuff out. And then after the criminal case was over, he had no Fifth Amendment protection because the case was over forever. So now they could compel him to testify, and there wouldn't be a Fifth Amendment a privilege problem, of self-incrimination problem. Now, in this case, which may be different, if you get up there and admit to criminal activity on the stand in a civil case, they can use that in a criminal case against you, assuming that you waived, because you essentially have waived that Fifth Amendment privilege. So that's kind of where you'd be going with that. So I know that was a little long, but some of these questions are going to take long explanation, but that's it. So yeah, it's possible. It all depends on what happens. That's why sometimes in criminal and civil cases, you're kind of nervous about, about saying certain things that could. And then a case recently, Tasha K, they had criminal investigators in that courtroom listening to what was going on, because supposedly there was some questions about finances. So they were testifying about finances under oath. So the IRS was in the courtroom listening to the testimony, seeing what they were going to say, right? Because if they see any violations of law, they would do it. So yeah, so it's possible. Mark says for $5, investigate signs someone may be lying. 1, have an explanation for everything. Facts. 2, have subject switches between past and present tenses in their story. Yes, that's definitely what they do. That's the tense switching is what's really triggering my training. But again, who knows? Because some people do that. It's tough. You could say it seems like they're being deceptive, but you just don't know. Shannon G says, Governor Abbott says that Texas plans to challenge, Pilar and Doe. If one, wouldn't that open the door to block other blanks, specifics needed, minority religions? I do not know Pilar v. Doe. I don't know. Shannon, thanks for the $10 super chat. I don't know this case. Government plans to challenge this case. I don't know. I got to look it up. I'm sorry, Shannon. It's funny because people, again, also too, don't get upset. There's like thousands and thousands and thousands of cases out there a day, so I just don't know them all. But I'll look it up for you. I'll look it up because I'm a little curious about this one now. I didn't know he was going to challenge anything. Let's look at Nate. Check the tape on LB. I saw only way she gets to tears is with a handkerchief. Just saying. That's true. So Brett is saying she's got something helping her get to those tears. Kyle Leroy says for $10 super chat says, is it possible that the soft cross of Dr. Hughes was because they wanted to use the stories Amber told during Amber's cross when they didn't match up? Also, love LawTube. All of you have been awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. It's possible. It's possible. I'm thinking it may have been soft because they wanted to maybe save time because they know there's a lot they wanted to get with Amber, and you want to, maybe it was a strategic thing for time. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. Nick Recchietta says Johnny should slapped her in court. No crap. Thanks for the $50. Uh-oh. Ben, the LP student, says, on the first day of Amber Heard testimony, I felt she was unbelievable. Agreed with uncivil. That she was believable. Agreed with uncivil. On the second day, my BS meter went into overdrive. Yes, Ben, the law student. So the first day you found her believable. Second day, she was not believable. Yeah, she kind of got real. I think she got real loose with the language on the second one. Let's go back. All right, so let me do this so we can catch up with the stream super chats. Let me highlight this so we are good. Now let's go back to the stream and see what we got in super chats. You see, people, I told you I would come back and forth. Thank you guys for being so generous with the super chats on this stream. I didn't think this is coffee and answering super chat stream would go so long, but this has been good. I've been having a good time. This has been some fantastic questions. Let's do this. All right. So we're catching up. First question. Did the bruises move from the jawline to the cheek? I just don't know. It's Amber Heard. Who knows? Lindsay says, this feels so unfair. They shouldn't be able to introduce questionable evidence. They shouldn't, but it's again, it's her story, and the rules of evidence allow that some of these things are going to be let in. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. 1 second. Jonathan Driver says, could ask, do you have a calendar on your fridge? I did. And do you change it monthly? No. If yes, then both. Then if yes on both, and Bob's your uncle. I did have a calendar, but I didn't change it even every month. So, but it wouldn't be behind a year. It would be behind maybe 1 month, 2 months at most. Like we may forget to change it in May. That somebody will look at it, oh, this is not changed. But now we use all electronic calendars. So, it's. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm saying it's possible, but show me the metadata, right? That's how to do it. And if without the metadata, then I think it's more likely than not that's an old photo. So thanks for the super chat. $4.99. I keep looking. I keep looking at explanations for Amber Heard's bombastic testimony, and my conclusion that she really wants to win that countersuit. Yeah. That's what she's trying to say. Because again, she's trying to prove that she's not a liar. Regarding Planned Parenthood, 70% of the business is unintended pregnancies. Oh, I heard different stories, but you may be right. I don't know, but I'll check it out. Last time I heard it was like 20% of their thing was abortions, but we'll look. Would the jurors be able to see that the internet is saying about the twin? No, they're not, and they shouldn't. Or are they prohibited from reading what the internet? Yes, they are prohibited from reading any of this stuff. Only thing they can make decisions on are what's in the court, what's in the trial transcript, what's there being presented to them. They are duty bound not to look at anything else. So that would be improper. This one would scream at her assistant for not changing calendars, and has kept that. See, this is Angela. I forgot she said that. I'm not buying it from her pick. I believe you, Angela. Angela's brought up a good point. Remember, the assistant was like, she would scream that changing the. You're right, Angela. I remember that. You're right. Angela's convinced me. That calendar may be legit. Rachel says, just for fun and speculation, how do you think Amber Heard will defend the turd issue? It was a joke. She's already said it was a joke. I mean, how could a person possibly defend that? Thank you. And well, two things. It was a joke and it was the dogs. So those are the two defenses that she's going to say. I don't believe it. I believe, that's human crap, but it is what it is. The way I see it, Johnny has won. He has been finally able to tell the side of the story. Yes, that's what we've been saying since the beginning. Regarding the jury decision, Amber might still be able to squeak out a win. Yes, I think she will. What I'm saying, I don't think she'll squeak out a win. Right now, my prediction is if the headline comes in, Johnny can win that. The other two, I'm a lot more skeptical about. So if the judge doesn't strike the title, I think Johnny wins, and I think he wins easily on that one. The other two are a toss-up. So I don't know. And I don't believe her story. But I just think it's just so incredibly hard to number one, since you're not talking about any specific form of abuse, and you're talking about 5 years where the people are together, and you got to prove that you never abused them in 5 years. I couldn't do that. Even let's say Johnny never abused her, then there would be then legitimately, right? Just think about this logically. Johnny never abused Amber. Like, let's take that as truth. Then what evidence would there be that he never abused her? Right? There would be no evidence because he didn't do it. Right? There's absolutely no evidence, because if you don't do something, there's no evidence for it. So that's weird. So the only thing he can do to kind of prove that this didn't happen is to show that the things that she's saying are false, and that the things that she said happened are untrue, and that the jury can't believe it because he has this demonstrable evidence to show that she's fake. That's the only way he can do it. Because again, if he's saying it didn't happen, there's no evidence. And that's the that's the reason why in American courts you are innocent until proven guilty, because of the same reason. If you are truly innocent, then there would be no evidence of your guilt. So you could there's no evidence to give to prove somebody you didn't do something, right? How can I prove I didn't visit the moon? There's no evidence. I didn't do it, right? But there's no evidence for it. So it's a weird little thing that they're forcing me to do. Britt Carmen said, Britt, I love you. Kyle Rittenhouse had the worst aim in the world. If he was trying not to shoot only white dudes. That's true. That's because that's the only thing he shot, right? White dudes, even though the media said he shot all black dudes. Thank you, Brett. Heart of inspiration. I think that she's bought in SA, JD's team needs to show that no reasonable person would have assumed verbal abuse. You should be a lawyer. That's true. Bringing if the title's essay, you can then make the argument that the whole thing's about sexual abuse and not just regular abuse, right? That's any abuse, right? But again, they're suing on specific statements, so it's a good tactic. I would use that tactic, but I'm not sure it's going to sell. Very good tactic. Very good, very good. That's something I didn't think about, but I think that's excellent. Bob, what's going on? He doesn't look like a calendar. It looks like a photocopy, maybe a copy of what was written on it, for remembrance, like a kid's crayon drawing. Something. It could be. That's a good point. I'm just gonna get through. I got like a couple of more of these. I'm gonna get through, and then I'm back to the old super chats, guys. So I'm gonna run through these. Do you think that Amber Heard puncturing her testimony with "I don't remember, I don't know" the order as a way to evade questions during cross? Yes. The way you evade questions during cross is that she's gonna tell a lot of stories. So just be aware. They're gonna say, Amber, is it today? It's today Monday. And if it's Monday, she's going to say, well, you see, yesterday was Tuesday, next week is Thursday, and then I came to the court today and I woke up and they said it was Monday. And then you got to go, well, is today Monday? Yes or no? Well, you see, that's how you're going to see the struggle. They're going to try to get her to say, did you hit Johnny? And she's going to have to give like an hour speech. That's how I think cross is going to go. But it all depends on what the judge would it's going to let the attorneys control the witness, because I'll be up there controlling. Like, ma'am, no, yes or no, ma'am. The jury needs, the jury's. We don't want to waste the jury's time, right? I just asked you, what's your name? You give me a whole speech, right? You got to make sure that you got to corral the witness and let them know. Motion to strike. She's being unresponsive. So that I expect it's going to be fireworks, but we'll see. Camille Vasquez. Nate. That is not crack. Nate, that's not crackish behavior. Cutting his finger and then wanting to be with him and help him look for it. In my opinion, she's not doing a good job of making you believe she doesn't do just as much drugs. Well, she admitted like in one of the clips that we missed, where she says she's done like a whole bunch of drugs. She's doing as many drugs as him. She may not be an addict as he is, but she's doing as many drugs as he is. And I don't know if it is what it is, but I definitely agree. The thing that makes me not believe her most, other than all the lies that we're hearing, is that the abuser just doesn't suddenly become the abused. Is that an abuser doesn't just suddenly become an abuser with no previous history of an abuse complaint. The thing that makes me not believe her the most, that's true. Because if he's dead, has no complaints, no nothing, and all of a sudden he's the abuser, yeah, that just doesn't make sense. We got 3 more of these before we get back to the old super chats. And then I'll get the new ones. Nate. I have a great pink dragon that lives in my garage. He is twice as long as a castle and breathes fire. I'm the only one that can see him, but you have to believe me because I said it. That's Amber Heard's testimony in a nutshell. Thank you, Britt. Trade99 says, I saw a TikTok comparing her face pic with real DV survivors that went through the hell she is trying to claim. She's trying to sell. I would say sell it to us because it's fucking crazy. It's horrific. The one thing I wish George could see. Yeah, I wish George could see everything, but it's just, the system's trying to be fair. These last two, I want to get in no way the jury can be unbiased after a week of watching YouTube recaps. Nature Cool of Captain America Shields in the background. Thank you. And this is the last one we're going to check out right now. Nate, have you seen Law and Lumber's newest update? Yes, that was fantastic. He broke down the whole. Law and Lumber did a quick video on the bed situation. So what he did was he's a expert in woodwork, so he saw the woodwork issue, and this is Eric, not my hero. Nate's my hero. Thanks, Eric. But so what he did, he took the woodworking things, and he took the woodwork. I'm all confused now because I did the super chat from Eric. All right, so what happened is Rob, he works with wood. So he has if you look, when we do live streams with him, he's in his wood shop. So he knows the grains, he knows like all the finer details. So he did a video dissecting the broken bed because you're able to see the wood. So he goes into the type of wood it is and how those type of breaks happen and whether it's possible that the breaks or what happened to the bed could have happened by the way Amber does it. And he makes a very convincing argument that it's all BS, that it can't happen. So I would definitely, if you guys just want a technical view of Rob going through it, it's an excellent case study in that. So Rob does it. He does it. He's just in the chat too. But I'll try to link it in the description so you guys can find it. But it's an excellent breakdown. All right, let's get back to the super chats. Here we go. Make sure. Here we go. So we're at Grem. So we're at 1920 Farmhouse for $9. Make sure I put this big on the screen so you guys can see it. Here we go. This is from Farmhouse. Where's it at? This is from 1920 Farmhouse. Did the jury decide liable or not? Does the jury decide liable or not liable? Yes, it's whether you're liable or not liable. Or is there any indication at the level of abuse? They're basically going to know. So they're going to ask the jury. We went over the jury questionnaire, the jury instructions, and then they have like a jury questionnaire in there. So what they do is they'll give the jury a paper, and in that paper they'll say, answer these questions, and then they'll say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, right? And if they answer all yes, then at the bottom they'll say, so if you answer all these questions yes, then how much are you saying? So there'd be a guilt phase, like okay, she's liable, and then they'll go back and say, okay, well now how much should the winner get? So the questionnaire will be like, is the statement false? Yes or no? Is this they'll go through that process. Good question though. And we can look at one of those too. I'll try to find one. Fat Monk says, Nate, love your content. Usually can't catch you live, but thanks for the great content. I hope you post a stream of clips later so I can catch up on a great looking panel. Yes, I have my editor. He's cutting up these streams, getting so you guys should definitely have that. This is $5 from your Rose. Amber Heard saying that JD tried to isolate her from loved ones, but had all her friends living at the house. That's true. I didn't even think about this. Maria is right. Because that's what they try to, I think that's how she's trying to do the abuse thing by saying, oh, he isolated me, he didn't let me go to, but then forgot that that her friends were living at the penthouses, right? Because Johnny had so many houses. That's true. But again, will the jury realize that, right? We're hoping that the jury realizes that, but that's so true. You're right. Living at Amber Heard, where is it at? Yeah, isolated from friends, but had all her friends living at the house, his house rent free, and every swinging Richard coming over. Shot. That was good. Yeah. She was if she's ever have her boyfriends come over, right? And have some fun. This is from Rob Burton. This is Grogu FTW. Grogu for the win. That's the Star Wars stuff I got in the background if you guys see it. It was May the 4th, so happy May Day. May the 4th be with you. That's a lot of vibranium for the Captain America shield. So hyped for the Multiverse of Madness. I heard it was a fantastic movie. I got to go watch it. I was supposed to watch it last week, but I couldn't get the time. But I see if I get some time this week. And best of luck for the show. Thank you, Rob Burton. I really appreciate it. Victoria M says, I thought it was because she said she didn't know much about Johnny before she dated him. Yet she remembered when he dated Kate Moss and that incident. True, but she could have heard about that later. So, but that's a good point though. I didn't realize that. Thank you, Victoria M. Okra C says, different topic. Is it true that Kevin Samuels died? Yes, Kevin passed away. Yeah, I really wasn't up on this stuff, but it was what it was. I know he was very misogynistic in his attitudes, but he was a lot of common sense. I did watch some of his stuff, which I thought was good stuff, but there was stuff I didn't agree with and stuff I did agree with. But that's with everybody, and I do feel for his family though, because he no matter what it's interesting because I didn't agree with a lot of the stuff the guy a lot of stuff that he said, but there was some stuff that I really did agree with. There was a lot of stuff that I did agree with, and I think it's unfair kind of how people are treated, because it's like I disagree with your opinion. Now I want to make you seem like a bad person after you've died. I think that's a little bridge too far, but it is what it is. Spot on. This is not political. This isn't political. Joe is nailing this one. Joe is probably be happy to see this. Joe on Legal Bites, you said, the left keeps defending her. That is true. You've seen a lot of that. You've probably seen the what's it called? I'm about to say LSU. What's the name of the ACLU and all that, right? They're going crazy with this stuff. Oops. They were really defending. And you know what shocked me about the ACLU? They were so biased in this thing, right? They were so biased. It was crazy with the ACLU. The ACLU, that was a Trump hit piece. They were trying to create a Trump hit piece, which was kind of crazy. It was like, but you find politics where it is. The ACLU does a lot of good stuff, but this I think getting involved in Amber Heard is messed them up. But she was giving them $3.5 million, so money talks. Money talks. If you guys are on fire today, and I'm loving it. My name is pronounced Triwa Biotaway. So it's Triwa. All right, Triwa. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat. Wendy, who's in the chat today. Popcorn Planet had 4 real DVD victims call in on a recent show. They actually cried when they were on. With Amber Heard, I went to sleep because what she was saying triggered me, and I couldn't deal with it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Wendy. Yeah. But I think it triggered. I think it's triggering people because people feel it doesn't feel authentic. I don't know. Maverick Christian says, agreed with good logic. Very bad for legitimate female victims from domestic violence. Do you guys think that? Do you guys, I've heard a lot of people saying that this is going to be bad for them for domestic violence. But I'm going to ask you guys in the chat: is this case bad for DV Vix? Here it is. Yes or no? What do you think? I think it is, but I think she's been so horrible in her lies. Her lies, like is it me or her lies are just so horribly bad? They're like bad. They're not even close to being believable. But again, Civil says he believes some of them. I don't know how he gets there, but he says he can't. I just don't think the facts are on the side. But we always got to be mindful of our own biases. She could be, she could eventually pop something, bring something out. Okay, that happened, but I don't know. The Monster and His Addiction. Linda gives me $1.99 for that. Thank you, Linda. The Adam Project does the $10-day recess set up for an opportunity for an out of court private settlement. Oh, do you think they're going to settle? Adam Project thinks I think there's no hope for settlement. I'm going to stop this other one. This poll is ridiculous. Let's think about this poll. I'm going to end this one right now. Let's see what this poll is. We had a whole bunch. We had 300 votes. 75 for you say it's going to be bad for DV victims. 24% says no. Yeah, I think that's true. But I want to ask this question. I think this question is a really good question. Let's see. An out of court settlement. Do you guys think there could be a settlement? That is what I'm going to ask you. I'm going to put this right here in the chat. JD and AH settle. JD and AH settlement. You guys think there's a possibility they'll settle? Here we go. I'm thinking hell no. I think they're too far in. I think hell no. But there it is. There it is in the chat. Let the Adam Project know, because I don't think they're going to settle. Christy Royce for $2 says Amber Heard begging JD to stay in audios. We heard that. Rachel's for $5 says she was arrested for DV against her ex-wife. Yes, JD have never experienced DV or verbal abuse. Yes, again, Rael, I got you for $5. Sandra Ramirez, $2 super sticker. Thank you. Ocarus says for $5, Warner Discovery won't renew her due to her bad acting in this trial. I think she's done. I think we're gonna have a new mirror. And that is the last super chat from that day. Wow. All right. We got through. Woof. How do you guys feel? That was the last super chat from that stream. That was monstrous. But you guys had a lot of great questions. That was fantastic. I got to be able to get to these super chats better during the stream because those are such great questions. It's fantastic. Let me get these couple of these super chats that have popped in. So we'll go back to the super chats, and then we'll go back to the live stream to catch up on a couple of more from yesterday. And then tomorrow we're going to, all right, so everybody understands tomorrow we're going to be playing Objections. So what do? We took the trial and we took all of the objections. Objection. So you're going to hear the testimony. Then we're going to stop and you're going to hear objection. And we're going to stop it. And then you're going to see if you can beat us law tubers in objections. So we're going to give our opinion. Hearsay, this, that. I'll start with a little explanation of some of the more common objections. There's so many of them, but I'll give you. We'll start with an understanding of the common objections, and then we'll go through it, and then we'll see. Objection. Will it be hearsay? And then we're also going to predict what the judge is going to say, whether it's going to be sustained or overruled. So we're gonna play that game yesterday. We're gonna see if you guys can beat the attorneys. It should be fun, but I think it's a dual thing. It's one to also educate you on objections, because then you'll see with us, okay, that's an objection, that's a good objection, bad objection, and it should be fun. And it's interesting to see if you guys can actually beat us at our own game. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get a couple of people with us. So objections, that's what we're gonna be playing tomorrow. So let me get to these super chats that have come in now. Damn, you guys have hit me up. All right. So here we go. Let's do these super chats, and then we'll go to the next live stream. Actually, it's almost 12:30. So we're going to finish with these super chats in this stream, and then I'll do another stream for the super chats from yesterday that we missed. So if you guys want, and let me send this out to some of the law tubers if anybody wants to join, because I'm just going to be answering lives. I'm going to answer the super chats from today's stream right now. So if you guys have any questions or anything. Now, also, if you guys have any tapes or anything you want me to play now, I don't mind playing them to look at some evidence and stuff like that. We can make this a little more interactive. Send it to me on Twitter and whatever, and then I can pull it up. Or if you have some Twitter link or something that you want me to look at, let me know. We can pull it up. But otherwise than that, I'm going to run through these super chats, and see what's going on. All right. So Claudia Arroyo says, would the jurors be able to, so we answered this one, but I'll just read it out again. Would the jurors be able to see what the internet is saying about the 2015? Remember, we said no, because they can't. And but there may be a negative inference for that photo. So we answered this question already, but no, they can't see anything, because it would just be unfair. This was the calendar one. Make sure we got that one. We did get this one too from Rachel. How could she possibly defend that one? We get this one. I saw finally. Yes, we got this one. Which one didn't we get? We got Brit. We got Heart of Inspiration. So we got all these. How did these pop back up? All right, so let me clear these, the ones we already got. And yep, got this one. Got this one. Did we get this one? Sorry, guys. Eating a testimony. Got this one. Got this one. This one. This one. Tracy, we got you. TikTok. Love the Captain America shields. Got this one. Law and Lumber. We got this one. Started secretly. We got that one. Did we? No. All right. Here we go. Boom. So this is the newest one. Sorry, guys, but we had to check it out because they populated them all. All right. So here it is. Eleanor. She started filming him secretly before they were married. Who does that? That's true. And why? What was she planning? I think she's probably sort of writing on the wall. But don't think the security guard also started doing that too. Remember, when she was punching him up, and he was like, "We need to document this so people see what you're going through, because she's going to probably file something." The security guard thought that, and that was early while they were married. So, Natasha, do you think now that after AH mentioned Kate Moss, finally the doctor is open for them to bring in more evidence in limine? Yes, I think they can bring rebuttal witnesses for that. So I think that's what's going to happen with that one. Natasha, thank you. The Satanic Temple now has a religious blank ritual, a religious abortion ritual. Do you think the ritual will stand in court? Other religious freedoms? You are the best, Nate S. Brown. I do not know. Something is illegal. I don't know. That's something I got to think about. But yeah, I don't know. That's if the state says it's illegal and it's murder, and you do it, I think you're in trouble. So that's my quick answer. Wendy Cafe. If it comes out after the break, that some or all the jurors actually did read stuff on the internet. Can this? Yes, it would be a result in a mistrial. You can't, because did they make their result based on the evidence presented or based on something else? Because even if the judge, think about this, people, that rule is so important. Even if the judge is making rulings or decisions based on facts, not in evidence, that judge can be in trouble too. So yeah, that's a no. Bridget Olson says, I fear for Amber's child. Did she just see the new kid? What if Amber directs her rage toward her daughter? Ugh, a la Joan Crawford. Feeling worried. Ugh, yeah, but I hope motherhood would change her. I don't know, but you're right though. Yeah, it'd be tough. Is Australia audio is in evidence? Yes. Then Amber Heard is cool. Yes, the Australian audio is in evidence. Thank you for that. Did you, the panel, watch the end of this? Yes, I did. It's horrible. I did. It's yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe it. All the evidence supports Johnny. I don't believe it. There's enough ambiguity in the WAPO article around Johnny. The problem with this, Marie, the problem with this is that the draft copies, the ACLU, they said they knew it was John. They said as soon as anybody read it, they knew it was about John. They tried to write it around, but they did such a poor job. And even the ACLU knew that she saying this about Johnny would get the more views. They put it out. So there's no one, even in this trial, when the ACL testified that this is what they planned to do, and the reason why they wanted to do it, to get maximum exposure and know it was Johnny, and then eventually knew it was Johnny. I don't think any reasonable person would come to the conclusion that wasn't about Johnny. It was ambiguous, but I don't think that's where the fight is. Even with the title, I can't see him winning. I think there's no way. All right, so your two objections is one about the title. I think you lose on it. I think if they say the title's been republished, I think Johnny wins on the title alone, just the title. The other two statements, I'm with you. It's iffy. And then talking around Johnny, I think it's clear that when the ACLU said we knew it was about Johnny, we wrote it and we changed it because we needed people to kind of come to the conclusion. It just obviously is about Johnny. And then as soon as the op-ed came out, everybody knew it was about Johnny. It wasn't like people was like, who are you talking about? It's Johnny Depp. And then we had, they were, I think, asked like the next day, hey, this is obviously about Johnny Depp. So, I just don't think that issue is even at play. I think it's assumed that this was about Johnny. I think the biggest issue is whether they're true or not. I think that's the issue in the trial here. Sorry about that was just a long-winded rage at that, but I wasn't raging. I was just saying, I think that's it. Chris Nelson, could the lack of metadata be used against it? Yes, as a negative inference, essentially saying that picture wasn't taken when it said it was taken because we don't have the metadata. So you could have a negative inference for that. That's the problem. That's the problem that her team, I think, gets. What's a worse strategy? If Amber Heard gets on the stand, giving the act she is that will get torn apart on cross. Yeah, I think she will. Or if she admitted that they were toxic to each other, basically admitting perjury. It's a tough, but if I was her legal team, Ron Coleman, he's like one of the best defense lawyers in the country. Project Veritas, he takes care of them all. He's one of the top defamation attorneys in the country. Him and Robert Barnes is also another one of the top. They both are saying the same thing I'm saying, which is the legal team should have been arguing the defamation piece a little. They should have been staring into the defamation, like, hey, they were both abusive to each other, right? They were both did this. They both did things like this. So even if you don't believe that, if you don't believe both their stories, you can just believe there's enough ambiguity in here to believe they both were abusive. And Amber wins, right? Amber wins. But and I think that would limit the perjury, but she's not going there. She's going to the full, this happened, here are all the facts, and perjury be damned. So is she committing perjury? I can't make that determination because there's no absolute proof, but if from what I'm seeing and adding up, it doesn't look good. If there's something out there, it doesn't look good. Thomas says, Heard to understand that she did not see the bottle. Yes. And thought Johnny was punching her and identified. Yeah. So somebody mentioned this before. How did she know the bottle was you? Yeah. I know. I agree. All right. So I understand what this person is saying in this. So She says that when he was doing the essay, so this is all doing, and again, this is all doing the finger being cut off, which again, it doesn't make any sense. All right, so from what I'm understanding, the finger's cut off. He's doing all this. He takes a bottle and does all this stuff to her. Then she gets up, they have the fight, fingers go off, and then they have the whole thing with the finger. But then she says she comes down next day and sees the bottle and says, that's the bottle that he was doing that to me with. But you said you couldn't identify the bottle. And now all of a sudden you can identify the bottle. I just don't. Again, these are just inconsistencies. But who knows? Maybe she says it was, maybe there's only 2 bottles there. And hey, that looks so. I don't know how she's saying that's the bottle. I just don't know. You're asking me to try to figure out why a liar is telling some lies. I don't know. Simon says, Amber, I would take MDMA. It was Johnny who made me. I think that was interesting strategy. Also, Amber, I only took Xanax, Adderall, and ecstasy to lose. Yeah. Johnny, it's all Johnny's fault. Yeah. She's trying to win her career back, guys. Think about this. Even if Johnny Depp doesn't win, Amber Heard has wrecked her own reputation. Facts. She will never recover. But after this, I think he will. Yeah, I think that's the majority of people in the chat. Let me see how this poll is going. I believe that's the majority of people in poll. So we're going to end the poll, and the poll was, come on, YouTube, give me the poll. It was, does Amber Heard and Johnny Depp settle? 88% said no. 11% say yes. Woo! You guys don't think they're settling for nothing, huh? You think this is fine? They going all out. Thanks for the super checks for the $10. Here it is. I'm forgetting about the evidence. Amber's testimony doesn't make sense. I couldn't follow time-wise, or know which event she was in. Was this plan to confuse? I think, well, they are working on their timeline. So generally what I like to do is I like to work on smaller timelines. So I like to say, all right, here's a timeline, and then work in chunks, and then let everyone know what we're talking about. So you'll always hear me, especially when I'm questioning on the timeline, you always hear me mention parts of the timeline, so to keep you guys. All right, so we're in 2016, we're in 2017, we're in April 2017, so you understand where we're at in the overall story, or maybe even have a visual so you can see, okay, early in the story and moving forward. That here it's a little difficult because they're jumping over both times and events and places. So they'll talk about one place in 2012, then we're talking in 2015, and so that's kind of how the defense team has been doing it. But I'm thinking they're trying to give a consistent timeline. But you're right, it's very, and it may be meant to do that because, again, if you're confused about all the facts and all the evidence and think they were just both horrible people, she wins, right? So it's actually would be a good tactic to confuse everybody because you would win. Well, she would win. Mickey says, you may have answered this already, but what are the odds of perjury with all that coming out that she started in her UK trial and is now saying other in this trial? That's a UK issue, though. I if I practiced in the UK, I would know. I would be concerned, though, if I was in the UK, what their issues were, because if she's testifying directly to things, she was under oath in the UK, so now she's testifying differently than what she did there. I would say she has a problem, but I don't think she's worried about that. I think she's worried about getting out of this one, right? The UK stuff is, but if she wins this one, she can be like, I don't care about the UK stuff, right? I've won this, but yeah, that would be a problem. What's it? Linger 1 2 3 4. She should work out some sort of settlement about bad relationship, apologize for exaggerated claims, blame mental illness, mix meds, and drugs, become the spokesman for mental health. You're thinking like I'm thinking, but I don't think I think she's thinking she's going for the win, baby. I don't think she's thinking that. She's keeping the lines for the win. Simon Tupper, no chance for a settlement. JD will want her to be crossed again and begin for it to end. And I think you mean beg for it to end. Thank you, Simon. Yeah. There's no settlement until after cross. you don't let her give a self-service and then we're going to settle. No. Self-service statement, cross it to death, and then we'll see. Yeah, I agree with that. I wouldn't settle till after cross. If you want to settle, we got to be cross first. I think it is good for male DV victims. I think JD got tongue-tied when he said the monster was sobriety. He had been on the stand forever at that point. Yeah, but again, I also want to give both sides the same. What is it? This the same. Um, I don't know. I want to say, what word am I looking for? I want to give them. I want to be fair to both sides. So if that's the case, she's been on the stand for 2 or 3 days. So I expect her to have some mix up and messed up. So we can't be hyper vigilant on one side and then let the other side kind of get away with things. Even though I do agree with you, but I'm still going to use that same reasoning if she slips up on minor things. But the things that she's been slipping up on haven't been minor at all. They've been unbelievably insane. So yeah, they've been unbelievably insane. Wendy, $10 Canadian says it will affect male DV victims more than females, who are almost always believed. Men are afraid to tell their stories because people tend not to believe them, and it's embarrassing too. Just my wife beat me up. It's an embarrassing thing to say as a guy, because don't forget, you still have an element of masculinity there, right? And getting beat up, girl beat you up. It's that type of thing, and it's not something that we all want to we want to pretend like we're above that, but we're not. This is still America, and we're still in a society where these gender differences and the views on gender are still powerful. That's why Johnny Depp. Think about this, and I've been saying this a whole bunch of times. Let's change the genders of the people. So we'll call Johnny, we'll call her Jane, and we're going to call Amber Arthur, right? So we got Jane and Arthur. So let's say Arthur, right, says, yeah, what happened when Jane's finger was literally severed? Well, Arthur, who has a history of domestic violence in past relationships, who has now we got documented of him punching, right? Punching, I forgot what I call Jane. So we got Arthur punching Jane in the face. Pictures of that, right? We have people who witnessed Arthur punching Jane. We got all this, right? Pictures and everything. So now Arthur's excuse is Jane cut her own finger off. Jane did it to herself. When I said I'm sorry for hitting Jane, that was a one-time incident. I didn't mean to hit her. She made me do it. Would there be any question? Right? Arthur would be going to jail, right? It wouldn't even be a question, right? Arthur would be going to jail. Now, I think that shows you kind of how we're looking at this differently, because I don't think Arthur, you would say to Arthur, okay, we believe that she cut her own finger off, right? But but when you change genders, it's something that I think more people are okay with saying or okay with spreading. But if the genders were different, people find that to be offensive. People would say, you're being offensive. You should believe this person, right? Because people weren't believed in the past. Believe this person. And I think that's where we're coming to. And I think that's the uphill battle that Johnny Depp has, because it's just, it's hard for people to wrap their head around a man being assaulted in this way by his wife. It's just hard for people to agree with. Olivia Olsen says, will Amber Heard destroy her own case with her clinging to a factually unsupported case that she pulled to an extreme by alleging on brutalizations? Yeah, and that's what most of the law tubers are saying now. If you guys look at the law tubers, they're saying Amber had an easy case to win. All right, so, and I know this is going to upset a lot of you, but most of us on LawTube who have done defamation cases, like one of my biggest cases, one of my biggest wins ever was a defamation case, right? It's a great case. It got me a whole bunch of money in fees. I love defamation cases, right? There's a contingency defamation case, so it was even better, right? As it's settled. Everybody who does defamation cases said they believe this case was a loser. And because only thing that Amber had to do was essentially just argue mutual abuse. Yeah, we were both, this was a toxic, hell of a relationship, and we did it to each other. That's more believable than what she's spreading now. And by doing that, you win everything. You win all the check boxes. Okay, they were hard to each other. He's saying he didn't do anything. She's saying, well, yeah, he did stuff. I did stuff. We were both bad people. Guess what? Boom, win. But by doing what she's doing now, by saying it the way she's saying it now, it's the story now. She's made it so you have to believe all the craziness, right? You got to believe he did all that insane stuff. And if you don't believe he did all that insane stuff, then it's going to make you less likely he did anything, right? So I think she's boxed herself into a corner by making it so crazy that now it's like you got to believe her craziness or you don't believe her craziness. And I think it's easier for me to get to the point where I don't believe anything she's saying because it's so crazy. Then I can believe something, right? She's put me in a position where I feel that everything she's saying is a lie. But if she's telling me something that is truthful, I'm going to be less likely to believe. If she right now says, yeah, he slapped me one time, it was light, I wouldn't believe that. So that's the risk that I think she's ran, and I think that's what she's done to her own case by putting it out in this way. She's hurt it so badly because it's now it's essentially it's the boy who cried wolf. Believe all this stuff and you find out this is not true. I don't believe anything. So I feel bad for saying that, right? I feel bad for saying because if this woman, I don't know if this woman was really abused or not. I don't think I know if the evidence has been put before me, but the evidence that's been put before me pretty much says that she was not abused. It just, I don't know. And it's tough because I know there are victims out there who can't come forward for whatever reason. I know the history, like we all know the history, but this isn't 1950. This is the 1950s. This is 1970s. This is not the 1990s, right? We're in 2022. Women are believed, and her story isn't making sense. But now are we just believing women or are we believing victims? Right? That's the difference now, because in this case, it's clear. I think if anything is clear, Johnny Depp is a domestic violence abuse survivor. I think that's no matter what else you think about the case, right? That has been clear. That's been proven. Photos, testimony, police reports, like all that has been proven. The severed finger, right? His own, the testimony of the people saying that they witnessed him bottles being thrown at him. He was punched in the face by her, all that stuff, right? So that's been proven. I think it's been proven. And I think that's the thing that's got most of the internet on fire, because he is a man who I think has proven definitively that he's been abused. But I think it's just so hard for people to overcome those biases about heterosexual relationships. So it is what it is. Sorry. And sorry about the soul searching, long-winded response, but I really think that's why this case, I just think about any other abuse survivor. Just imagine if this was any other abuse survivor, if it's a woman and she had to sue to prove she didn't abuse her man, I don't think it would happen the other way. Because I think if this was the other way, Johnny it would have been believed she would have lost her career. But we have to deal with this. All right, so I gathered some more of your super chats, guys. I want to make sure I didn't get it. So thank you for the super chat. I could be wrong, but in Australia, didn't AH say they were alone for the whole time? No, they were alone for some of the time because they were there for a couple of days. But after the Hulk versus Loki type scene, when she went to get her phone, she said Jerry was there before going again. Yes, but all right. So the problem is the last sentence here with Jerry. She keeps saying Jerry can verify a lot of the stuff that she's saying, but Jerry's dead, right? He died of cancer. Now Johnny had a whole security team. We heard from the rest of the security team. All of them saying she's full of shit. They're saying that she's a goddamn liar. But she's saying Jerry, right? So like, all right, where's Jerry? Jerry's fucking dead. So it's just, you got to admit, it's convenient that the whole security team is saying she's fucking full of lies. And the one person that can say that, oh, she's not, is dead. And she says, that's the guy who was on my side. That's where we're at. Natasha, $5. Was it Nidilov? Objection, hearsay, judge. You asked the question. Jabir says, I believe people who claim SA. I believed Amber. I'm disgusted. If she is lying, she is 100% took advantage of people's empathy for her own sick gain. And people do this all the time. Listen, guys. On this channel, if you look at some older videos, I have a video where I interrogated someone live here on screen and got them to confess to faking cancer for personal gain. So they had a fundraiser and faked that they had cancer, raised $5,000. And we investigated and found out that the fraud had happened. So you would say, well, damn, somebody's gonna lie about cancer to get money on the internet? Yes, that's what this person did. And the interview is on my channel. And she confessed. She confessed to it. She confessed to fraud, to making fraudulent documents. Full confession. So people will lie for financial gain. And I think that's what and my opinion is that's what it sounds like she's doing. She's lying for financial. She was lying to promote Aquaman. Think about that. That's why they were saying, you're an Aquaman. You got this great role. She could have said nothing and been good. They said, but you got Aquaman. Me Too movements out there. Let's make you a superstar. Write this op-ed, and we're going to the next level, baby. Oh, sure, yes. Let's write the op-ed. Let's destroy Johnny and advance my career, even though Johnny's my ex-husband. Now we got this trial. That's my opinion about what happened. And and again, I'm sorry, and hopefully this won't change what people feel about most or any and every DV survivor. Let me go back here. Next question. I'm sorry, I'm like, you guys are seeing me a little bit more emotional today than I am, but I this case. Hey Nate, can you please post a link to view the jury instructions? All right, so let's do this. Because I've been saying them, so I'm gonna look them up right now, so you guys can see them and put the link. I gotta put the link in the chat. So Virginia, jury instructions, civil. So I'm gonna get the manual for you guys. So let me share my screen so you guys can see it. We're still doing super chats. Close this. No, let me do this one. Hold on. All right, so let me share this screen so you guys can see this, and so you guys can see also what the jury has to decide. Come on, StreamYards. This is why I hate you. You better hope they never get anything else to replace you, because I am gone. All right, here we go. Model jury instructions. All right. All right, so these are the model jury, Virginia, March 2020. No, I know nobody else is showing you this, right? And you can go to any other channel, ain't nobody showing you the model jury instructions. Why? So I know I got you here with the model jury instructions, and nobody else showing the model and jury instructions. Let me delete these real quick so I can catch this up. Nobody's showing you the model jury instructions, so I know this is a treat for you guys. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I deep dive, right? So I go as deep as possible. If we're in a jurisdiction and I can get the jury instructions, I'm looking for the jury instructions, right? Because I want to see what the jury's going to have to do. All this stuff about what we have to do, let's just look at the jury instructions. Now, these are model jury instructions because for each case, they massage them a little differently. Like in this case, you may have the judge say, well, abuse, we're going to put a definition of abuse that both sides agree to or something like that. So that may be even in their jury instructions, or the judge may leave it up. I'm not sure. But that's why you'll have them. Both sides will give up. They'll say, well, here's what we propose are to be valuable jury instructions, and then the judge will look at both sides, and then they'll come to a middle ground. But what the state does, because jury instructions are so important, is that they give you a model. So they say, here are the model jury instructions, and then they'll say, so you'll have this like skeleton to work off of that kind of has to go with all your trial. So let's look at some of the jury instructions because it's come up a couple of times. So I want to make sure I'm fair so you guys can see it. 1 second. Let me pull this up. We'll move this out the way. Perfect. And I got this. Is this the right? Yeah, we're at KitKat. So KitKat, I'm going to read yours in a second, but here we go. So this is a model and jury instruction. So let's just do a quick walkthrough of it so you guys can be able. So these are model. This was in Virginia 2020. So we're looking for defamation. So first, this is kind of what happens on the trial. You have the opening statements, presenting evidence, instructions of law, and the final argument. So that's just the 4 main steps of the thing. So you see that they're showing you what every part of this is. Okay, my fault. I forgot. Control C. Let me also, if you guys want these jury instructions, I'm putting them in the description of this video right now, so you guys can have them. Come on. On my live stream. They demonetized me already. Damn. YouTube hates me. All right, don't demonetize. You demonetized me. I just started speaking like an hour ago. All right, so here is the jury instructions. Control V. This is jury instructions. All right, so they are in the chat right now. So you guys have the jury instructions. So if you guys want to go look at them yourself, look there from the Virginia court. You guys have them. This is the most updated version of jury instructions that you can get. So what are we looking for? So we're looking for defamation, right? We don't want just anything. We're specifically looking for something for the jury instructions. So we're going to look for defamation. DFAM. So you can see the section for civil jury instructions that come on defamation is here. So liability issues. So first they speak about your verdict must be based on the facts that you find them, and then they give you with what to find, right? So for instance, 37, instruction number 37, for use in cases involving a public figure, that's Johnny Depp, where the court has determined the statement is defamation per se. So these are the jury instructions that are going to be used in this case, right? So this is what we're looking at in this case. Johnny Depp has said that this is defamation per se. The court has found it to be defamatory per se, and these are the jury instructions that you would use in that case. Now, if you're a juror, now we can play this out too with you guys. If you're a juror, you'll answer these questions just to know. So they'll have a form with these questions, right? After the jury instructions. So your verdict must be based on the facts as you find them and on the law contained in the full instructions. These aren't them. So in this case, the issues in this case are, so the first question you're going to ask, did the defendant make the following statements? So you'll have the three statements: sexual assault, abuse. So you have those three statements. Yes, the defendant did make those statements. Remember, the first one is a republication, and the second two, she made it because she wrote it in an op-ed. So we have that. Second, is the statement about the plaintiff? Remember, we had a lot of questions from you guys saying, well, is this statement about Johnny Depp? But again, I think the facts that we've seen already shows this statement was about Johnny Depp, the ACLU, we have all that, right? All this, I think they have this easier. So I don't think this is going to be a problem. Yes, it was about the plaintiff. Now, was the statement heard or seen by someone other than a plaintiff? Again, see how to make it easy for the jury? Yes. It was published in the Washington Post. Yes. So another easy one. Again, this is defamation per se. This is what Johnny Depp is trying to prove. And this is how the jury is going to have to go through it. So yes. Is the statement false? This is where I think you're going to have the issue, right? Is the statement false? Is the statement that he sexually abused her false? Is the statement that he abused her false? Is the statement that she's a domestic upset? This is the number 4 is the bomb, right? That's the one the jury's going to have to sit there and be like, damn, do we believe him or do we believe her? You know, has he proven that she's been lying about this or has she not? This is the bomb. And it's a yes or no question. So it'll be yes or no. If it's yes, Johnny, I think, is going really, really good to win this case. So number 4, is the statement false? Let's go to the next one. Now, again, these jury instructions are linked in the description. You click on them and you look them for yourself. You see they have all type. Look at them. Just don't trust me. I pulled them up. This is the court's jury instructions. So this is I'm taking it right from the source. Number 5, did the defendant make the statements knowing it to be false? Or did the defendant make the statement so recklessly as to amount to a willful disregard of the truth? That is, with a high degree of awareness that the statement was probably false. So that in of itself is what's known as actual malice, right? So, but you have this already too, because if she just made it up, then you have actual malice, right? Because she had to know what's false. Why make it up? So if she made it up, it's actual malice. She made it up. So that's where that I think we're good there. Most of us think the actual malice is not going to be an issue. And number 6, if the plaintiff is entitled to recover, what is the amount of damages? So there it is. And then on the issue of the plaintiff's burden of proof, your decisions on these issues must be governed by the instructions that follow. So then we have the next thing where if it's a public figure, but it's defamatory, if it's a public figure, not defamatory, defamation per se. So this is the one we're looking at, defamation per se. And for each of these elements, it's so for each of these elements, now we know it's this for 1, 2, 3, 4. it is the standard is preponderance of the evidence, and for number 5, it is clear and convincing evidence. So for the first 4, you're looking at a preponderance of the evidence, and for the 5th one, he has to prove it by clear and convincing evidence. Woo, that was a lot. So I let me get back to this. I hope that was helpful. I hope you guys like going through that. I'm sorry if I went a little crazy in the stream. Let's see if the chat, if this was helpful. Let me know if this was helpful, because we can go through some other stuff like this too on some other streams. But I wanted to make sure I gave you guys. So now you guys have a couple of things. You guys have a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't. A lot of other people don't have. You guys now can go to the jury instructions, and when you're hearing the trial, you guys can go figure out, have they proved this to determine yourself. Do you think Johnny is winning or not? Because that's how we do it. We go right to the jury instructions and then say, okay, these jury instructions say A, B, C, D, and then you can easily decide, like, oh, okay. I think they've proven that. I think this is why. And as you can see, they're written in regular language, so anybody can just kind of read them and try to understand it. Because that's usually sometimes the problem too. It's all the legalese. So, all right. Sorry about the whole sidestepping into jury instructions, but I thought it was important because so you guys can know. Let me read the rest of these super chats. All right. Here we go. Kit Kat says, I sent you a really funny vid I made you and DV to you via DM on Twitter if you want to, Nate. All right, so let me go to Twitter and look it up. Yeah, if you guys send me something on Twitter, I'll check it out. Again, I read it gets crazy, but I read a lot of my, well, I actually read them all, but people get crazy in the DMs. DMs are not a fun place to go sometimes. Okay, I see that, and I see that. I'm not going to play it now, but I'll check it. Thank you. Ooh. If you send me a DM, it might be gone. It's crazy. Oh, we got a lot of stuff. Hey, Nate, the lawyers. Okay. All right. So I got some of you guys' stuff. All right, this stuff is looking interesting. All right, matter of fact, I have to do a new stream just for the stuff you guys send me on Twitter. This is fascinating. Thank you, Kit Kat. Can you send it to me again right now so I can just see it? Because I can't find it, but I definitely want to check it out. Streaming for addicts. No, she says in her testimony, first fist did she realize a bottle, but she doesn't know what bottle it was. But she does though, because remember afterwards she said she knew what bottle it was. Because she went down and she saw there was a whole bunch of bottles, but she recognized one of the bottles was the bottle. So I don't know. Again, it may not, but people do remember things afterwards. I don't know. Again, it's preponderance of the evidence. Do you believe her? Do you believe him? It's you guys know it's extremely hard to believe her. I don't know. I don't even know what to do with that. You're right though, but yeah, how she didn't remember, but she does remember. Who knows? She can't double down on all this crap and settle. You're right. She can't. Rick here. That's true, Oliver. This has gone too far to settle now, unless it comes with a public apology and admission that this was all lies. That is something Amber Heard will never agree to, even for $1 million. What's it called? Yeah, a plaque. For $1 million. I don't know what that word is. A placas. I'm not sure. Oh, maybe my brain is just done. But I would say for $1 million. But yeah, I don't. Well, she gave away 7, right? Did she give away 7 to the Children's Hospital? Crazy. Don't need to read. You and Nick are my fave law tubers. Shh. Okay, Kyle. I'm not gonna read it. Oliver says, again, Oliver. Also, if you were writing a real op-ed, you should write about how evil drugs and alcohol ruined her relationship. Johnny was nice, all without them. Yeah, I think she's, again, my opinion. I want to make it very clear. My opinion. I think she's using the drugs and alcohol as a defense, right? He didn't know that he was abusing me because he was a drug and alcohol addict. It's disgusting, but I think that's what she's doing. That's what she's trying to sell. And it's believable that if you're on drugs and alcohol, you're not going to know that you're beating what you're doing, because that's all. It's again, that's what makes it so. Makes it believable, but it also makes it unbelievable because it's so perfect, right? If it's that perfect, then it just doesn't seem true. But again, that's just the way I think. The world. What the hell, Johnny? Why didn't you leave? JD. Well, that bed didn't break itself. Thank you, Simon. $10 Canadian. Brit Kamia. Main issue in challenging roles is that it is hard to believe that someone you outweigh by 50 pounds can hold you down and beat your face unless they have training experience and you have none, or the fact that you're let's say meek. Like sometimes, for instance, my daughters, they get upset and it's well in the hand, and then we'll be wrestling and stuff like that. You know, I'm allowing them to do it, not fighting back, but we're not, they're not abusing me. But I can see in a situation where Johnny, he's not, if you're not an abuser, somebody starts hitting you, no matter what their size is, you're going to cover up, and you don't want to hit them back. So it's possible. It's not something you'd see normally, but you could see, the size thing, especially in this relationship, you can see, and you just hear the audio of her saying, I punched him in the face. So Rhonda says, I had nightmares she was chasing me with a knife. Uh-oh. You better watch. This is getting crazy. You take a break, Rhonda. Take a break from the trial. Team YouTube, can you please clarify why statements by police like Jerry Judge and Amber's mom isn't an exception to the hearsay rule? Okay. So generally, I think Jerry Judge could be an exception for the hearsay rule. He's an out-of-court statement because he's unavailable. But Amber's mom, hearsay, if the person is available but doesn't come in and testify, it can't come in. You can't offer it for the truth of the matter asserted. So, and hearsay is generally, you're generally, there's so many exceptions to hearsay. If it doesn't fall within one of the hearsay exceptions, which there are many, then it can't come in because there are a lot of different issues with it. So I think in this case, Jerry Judge could fall into one of the hearsay exceptions, which is unavailable witness because the person died. But that exception is actually limited in scope too. The mom, I don't think there's really any exception that she can present, so she can testify, and that she could that can bring in her testimony if she's available. That wouldn't be hearsay. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. The mom, no, she's got to come testify, probably live or by deposition. I think the Jerry Judge, it's 50-50. But I'm assuming that they probably tried to get in and work it out, and both teams didn't agree to it. So we'll see. But that's kind of why the mom and Jerry can't really get in. Here it's just hearsay. It's just too much hearsay. Oh, thank you for the super stickers and the super chat. Thank you for $5. Shimon Post, thank you for the $2. Shima Pasta. Okay, so this is pasta. I said post. It's pasta. Thank you. Just me. Thank you for $1.99. Here we go, Natasha. What's the difference between per se and implication? I see this defamation by implication. It's per se and implication. By implication means you didn't directly say the person's name, but you imply it heavily that it's them. We have that. It's defamation by implication. In other words, I didn't say their name, but we all know who we're talking about. That's it. That's defamation by implication in a nutshell. Defamation per se is I don't have to prove that the statements damaged my reputation, or I don't have to prove that actually I lost any money. I just have to prove you made the statements, and the statements are so bad that they're defamatory on their face. So that's what per se is. Per se is easier to win. If you have a defamation case, I will say this for anybody out there: if you have a case and want to allege defamation, you want defamation per se. You need defamation per se. You essentially need defamation because it just makes it so much easier to win. Defamation per se makes it so much easier to win. Just me, I got you. Let me catch some of these other ones that I caught later. Yes. So thanks again for the $5, Natasha. Yeah. So this again, Johnny Depp is suing her for defamation per se. So he's saying those statements on them face there. She's accusing him of crimes, and because she's accusing him of crimes, it's a heightened level of defamation, which I think he can get. I think she can get. I think Johnny can win it. I think he can win it. But again, it really depends on if that first statement gets in. If that first statement isn't struck and she's got to go, and that goes to the jury, my whole interpretation of the legal aspect changes dramatically because that statement, I think he'll win. I think he's winning on that statement, and I think it's going to be hard for her, unless somebody on that jury really has to buy her testimony for her to win, because it would just be too much. It would just be way too much. Let me get hold on. Let me delete the ones I have already read. All right. So we have some more in. Let's go to $20 from Rhonda. Did you see the red carpet picture where she had a black eye and bruised face, and he had red scabs on her? And hold on. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Did you see the red carpet picture where he, see, I keep saying she, where he had a black eye? Yes. And a bruised face, and she had red scabs, knuckles on her face. Yeah, it was very obvious. Yes, I saw that. Remember, that was a picture they played where he was taking a picture and he was there and he had like a black eye. And I saw that. But think about, and I'll say this again. Think about if this was reversed. Think about if Amber was the one with the bruises and you took the picture and you saw his knuckles and they're sitting there smiling. There would be no question, right? And then the excuse is he fell. He bumped his head into the wall, right? He's a klutz. There would be no question. It would, this would be, who would be the abuser and who would be the abused. But it's again, it's what we go through. God made couples. I'm a marriage family therapist. Would love to come to discuss a. Oh, cool. Just send me. How may I best contact you? Email. Go to the about section. Email me, or you can DM me on Twitter. DMs on Twitter a little bit more risky, and emails. Send me an email, and I'll get to it. Emails are a little bit tough because you guys don't know when you get up to this level. Email, 1,000 emails sometimes a day. It gets kind of crazy. So, but I'll try to get to it, and I try to really read everything because you get such hard. Like Britt sent such a fabulous email the other day, and you really get some great emails. And sometimes, and I've even gotten some clients through some emails and helped them out for various things. Even though I'm not saying I'm not looking for clients. I don't want any clients, right? But sometimes some people's situations are just so, like there was one where it was a minor issue that really didn't take a lot. So just pointing the person in the right direction or helping somebody write a letter or something like that may help them. Something like, minor stuff that really doesn't have to deal with me doing any legal work, but just pointing people like, hey, there's a good place to look for an attorney, or here's someone you can talk to who may be more knowledgeable. So, that does happen a lot. So, and thank you for inviting to come on. I definitely would love to have an expert on. It's alpacs, aka the animal. Alpacas. Okay, yes, 1 million alpacas. All right. Shempasta says it does seem like AH may not be the sharp tool in the shed. Not really planning well. Thoughts? Yeah, but she's the client, right? If she wants to go out there and say he did those to her, you let her make her statements, and she's got to live with the results, not the lawyers. Her knuckles were scabbed up. Not his. Yes, it was her knuckles that were scabbed up, which was great. But again, like I said, if instead of saying if you say his knuckles were scabbed up, it would be easy. But yeah, her knuckles were scabbed up. She was the abuser. There's no. I don't think there's any reasonable person going to say he was the abuser in this relationship. But there are people out there. It's just some people kids can't get it out their mind that she's. It's just not adding up. Amber Heard's mother is deceased. Okay. So hard for her to testify. See, I didn't know the mom was deceased, but yes, she is deceased. So the two people who are deceased, the mom and Jerry Judge, there is a hearsay exception for unavailable witnesses who are dead, but that's usually limited. It's limited to unless they give depositions, and then both sides would have to have questioned them. But then you have the second part of that, which is let's say if somebody kills me, and then on my deathbed, I said it was Amber Heard who killed me and I die. That can come in, right? Because the issue would be veracity, right? Would someone just lie in that one moment they got to tell who killed them with that person? So they said that statement is more than likely going to be true. So the courts will let that in. But outside of something dramatic like that, it's just tough to have them come in. So, but thank you for that. I forgot her mom was dead. Yeah, but she definitely is. Sent again, Nate. It's a YouTube link. Perfect. Gotcha. And yeah, I generally don't click on links. Thank you for the people who remember that too. I generally don't click on links. So what I do, just so everybody understands, if you do want to send me something that is a link or something from YouTube or something, and what I do, I just generally reverse search it. So if you send it to me, I'll type in the letter, search it. If I can't find it from that way, I'll ask, is there something else But yeah, I try because I don't know if you guys saw on civil law got caught out there like that, where he's clicking on a link and next thing you know, his channel got taken over and it was like Euphorium and it was like, oh my god, uncivil. This is this is horrible stuff. All right, guys. So I'm gonna go till 12:30. Well, I'm gonna go to 12:30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store all the super chats up till this time, and I'm going to read them out. If you send other stuff in, I'm not going to be able to read it. But what I'll do is, oh, you guys sent a lot in on me. I want to make sure I got them all in. This last one was 12:13. So I want to make sure I'm getting you guys, getting everything. Make sure I'm going to make sure I just got all you guys super chats because sometimes these things get difficult when you're, and that's a StreamYard. StreamYard, please listen to me too. You guys better make the super chat thing a little easier. You guys gotta make the super chat thing a little easier. You guys can't want us using these streams, and this is like one of the hardest things to do because what a lot of guys don't know from the back end, the super chats that come up, they're put on the screen, but for me to put them on the screen, I gotta like click them when they come in. Instead of, they should just automatically click them and put them on the side. So if I want to pull one up, I can pull one up, but they don't do it. So it just makes it difficult. Yeah, this is the one we saw. Chasing that. Yep, we saw all these. All right, so I think we're done with super chats. Let me make sure I don't have anything else. This is the one about the statements between. Yes, so we did clear that up. They're both dead, so they both won't be able to come in. Yep, we got all that, and I think we're good. I think we're good. I think we had a couple more come in. I'm just going to grab these up, and we'll go through them, and that'll be it. Thank you, Just Me. Thanks for the 199. I appreciate it. And am I super chat caught up? Lord to gods, the gods of. Here we go. Here's another one. I'm not sure if I caught this one. What's the difference between per se? See, we did catch this one. So why are you doing this to me, StreamYards, when I've read these? All right. Here's another one. Did you really say to your fans that you pay $10? Let me see. Did you really say to your fans had to pay $10 for you to read their chats? If so, shame on you. I've been reading everything. Oh, no. I was saying in this. Well, first, I read this one too, which is only $4.99. All right. So at the beginning, I was saying I was giving preference to those of $10 and more because I was going to read them because this stream was for me to read old super chats. So I was telling people if I couldn't get to your super chats, I wouldn't read them. But if you really had something to say, if you do $10 and up, I would read them. But also, and maybe you didn't hear, I said if you put question in front of your super chat, I would read that too, if it was $10 or not. But I would be giving preference to the ones above $10. But as you can see, I've read them all. So you're right. I did say above 10, but I've read $1, $2, $3 because I had enough time to read them all. Generally, a lot of super chats come in. And if I can't, I feel bad if I say I'm going to read them all and I can't get to them all. But this time, I was able to read them all, even the $2 ones. So if you don't want to send it, please don't send it. But yeah, but that's what I said. And that's essentially it. Let me see. Most YouTubers now who get a lot of super chats, they usually have a limit. I think Lead Attorney, I think his limit is 10. I think there was like one that's a $5 limit. I think there's some other ones. I think now most people are doing 10 or some people are actually doing 20. So, but yeah, so that's what it is. If you feel some way about it, sorry, but that's the way it goes. And I'm still reading them all anyway. So I think most people know. There's the fact that they are probably guilty of some level of DV speaks to malicious intent of the article, assuming she wouldn't think it was cool if the same was written about her. Yes, but malicious intent, malice isn't about malicious intent. It's really just about, did you know if the statements were false and said them anyway? The reason why you did it, it doesn't really matter. The fact that you did it is what matters and there's like been a lot of confusion about what it is and what it not is and so forth and so forth. But that's generally what it is. All right. So if anybody else has any issues, let me know. Yeah, you see, I remember I read this and even responded to this $2 one, but people are upset. But again, so thank you guys for being so generous with the super chats. I'm going to have to get out of here. I've caught up on all the super chats. Now I'm going to have to do one more of these streams to catch up on the last stream I did that had all the super chats that I didn't make to, because I want to do that one again, just catching up on those super chats too. I'm not going to have enough time to do it today. So I want to give Soaring King her due again. Called me out, said, Nate, you're asking for super chats. Not understanding this was I'm reading $1 super chats on the stream from old super chats, and it was to discourage people, but we were able to get through all the super chats anyway. So thank you, and I'm sorry, but maybe this stream isn't for you. All right, and the last super chat of the day that I'm going to read happens not to be a $10 super chat, but I've been reading them all, so why stop with a good thing? You should ask TLA to come on. He's been on a couple of times. He's amazing. It'll be interesting to. I actually was on his channel when because he's live streaming it too. So I've just signed a deal to live stream the trial too. So I might be doing some of the live streaming, some of the trial too. But I don't expect to get even the numbers like everybody else is getting. But it'll be nice to give my little take on it. So with that said, I've read every super chat. I want to thank everybody here for their stuff. Again, you guys got all the information. I thought I wasn't going to be able to get to everyone's except for the higher value ones, the $10 and up. But I was thankfully I was able to read all the old ones and read all the new ones. So that wouldn't go into effect. I also want to say, please look in the description. Look at the jury instructions yourself. You get a nice little flavor of it, and it'll help you go on through the trial. Remember, tomorrow we're going to be doing objections. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. I'm going to have the other lawyers on. This stream today was really just to answer those super chats, because I told you guys I was going to answer all super chats. It didn't matter what the amount was on those last two streams. So that is what I promised you, and that is what I am doing. I did. I have one more stream to catch up on that, because if I told you I'm going to do it, I want to do it. And the fact that you guys have sent in money and did this and have been so generous, I can, if I'm going to tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do something. So now, so again, we have another one of these streams to go to. If you enjoyed this, thanks, and I will see you again. Oh, and don't forget, I've got to put this in the description. Me and Eric have a new channel coming. It's going to be us reacting to viral videos. Eric should put the link. Eric, can you put the link in the chat real quick? Eric's going to put the link in the chat. I'm going to post in that. So it's a new channel we're doing. It should be fun. We're putting out some videos. We're going to be filming again this week and put out a lot of the videos and things of that nature. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that. It's a nice little new venture. It's fun for us, and hopefully it'll be fun for you. So please check it out. Channel is Nate and Eric. Link should be in the description of this video, and if it's not, Eric's going to be hopefully put it in the chat, but if not, it's going to be in the description of this video for you guys to check it out. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers on that channel, so it's great, and hopefully you guys will come check us out. So with that said, everybody have a wonderful lunch. Please jump over to Hogue Law, because he's streaming now. Also, Good Logic is streaming, and some other YouTubers are streaming. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow when we play Objections. Later.